Believe we live. It's your boy Dabrand knows. As you know, there's a lot going on right now in America. And I feel my duty as a wolf amongst the sheep is to I am your father. Teach my children a little something, you know? So every day you come in the show, you must learn something. If you don't learn nothing, then I don't know why you come. But let's get into this right about now. Oh, shit. Yeah, right. Now see, this is how we start the show. You start the show. They hit the flow when I start the show. So let's go, let's go, let's go. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Hold up. They told me that. What's that? Yeah. Okay.
Pa, 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 pa. So long, sucker!
Now that you know that your boy the HG and Brando knows, let's get into this.
You believe in the First Amendment? Do you believe in the First Amendment, Tom Homan? How many more do you think will go red target?
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, something big just happened in New York City, and it looks like Zohran Mamdani started a fight with ICE, and this happened. And what exactly happened? Well, he says ICE is not welcomed in New York City. And the ICE deports replied, "We are already here. We don't need your invitation, buddy." So again, New York City, the entire United States of America, this is where we're at. This is where we're at. Zohran Mamdani says ICE is not welcomed. And then guess what happened, ladies and gentlemen? Apparently, crazy story, right? So he's apparently today he woke up outraged. Why is he outraged? What happened to Zohran Mamdani to be outraged at ICE after he said they're not invited to New York City? They should not be in New York City. What exactly happened? Well, let's actually take a look, because one person who worked for him apparently was working for him illegally.
Zohran Mamdani is calling for the immediate release of a city council employee detained by ICE on Monday. Mamdani writing he is, quote, outraged by the worker's arrest, calling it an assault on our democracy. The National News Desk, Jeff Harris, joins us. And Jeff, details surrounding the detainment are continuing to develop tonight, including who this man is and why ICE arrested him. Break down what we know.
So DHS says the man is a criminal illegal alien from Venezuela who entered the U.S. on a tourist visa back in 2017, which expired that same year. But city council officials say that's simply not true. He was legally allowed to live and work in the U.S. until October of this year. According to DHS, the man, whose photo was just released earlier tonight, was identified as Rafael Bojorquez and had no legal right to be in the United States, which is why ICE detained him during a routine appointment on Long Island on Monday. City leaders, including Mayor Mamdani, reacting to his arrest on social media. Take a look. Writing, "It's an assault on our democracy and our values." City Council Speaker Julie Menin also speaking out, saying at the time of his arrest, no reason was provided.
You think Uber driving is the best way to make side income? I'm sorry, but you've got it all wrong. If you want extra income, you've got two options.
Okay, option one, you can start one of those overhyped digital marketing businesses that everybody's been talking about, right? And spend like the next 2 years of your life grinding another 40 hours a week on top of your job, building websites, running ads, dealing with suppliers, dancing on TikTok, burning through thousands of dollars just to get started. Or you could take option two. Option two is forget about all that marketing crap. I mean, you still bring in a steady income, but with something way simpler, way easier, and way faster just to see results with. And no, you're not going to have to get a second job or start another business or put your savings on the line. So what's option two? I'll tell you in a second. But first, let me share a little truth with you about all of these flash in the pan internet side hustles that fall under option one, okay? First, you got affiliate marketing. I mean, that sounds great, right? Until you realize you're walking into this battlefield full of tech wizards. They've been doing this for 10 years plus, and you need funnels and ads and email copy and like a few grand just to test something out and see if it works. And the best part, you're fighting for table scraps. The worst part, you're out many thousands of dollars before you even make a dime. And then there's e-commerce, drop shipping, Amazon, Shopify. Here's how that really goes, okay? First, you got to find a product that's cheap. It's easy to sell. It hasn't already been done to death by 40,000 other people. Then you got to build a website, install apps, deal with payment processors, suppliers, customer complaints, shipping issues, all that for like a $12 profit on a phone case? No, thank you. Plus you need just like 10 grand to even hit the ground running with this. How about social media marketing? That's great, right? If
they provided no other basis for his detainment. Everything that we know, this man was here legally, and he was legally authorized to work in the United States.
Now, Menon went on to say he worked as a data analyst for the city council for about a year. Democratic New York Congressman Dan Goldman calling him a law-abiding immigrant with work authorization. Now, the man has been transferred to a detention center in Manhattan, but Menon says they have been unable to reach his family members. New York.
Look at this. Zohran Mamdani is outraged after New York City Council staffer is detained by ICE for overstaying visa and alleged assault. So the story is actually deeper than a lot of people even realize here. A staffer for New York City's City Council was recently detained by federal agents because he overstayed his visa and is accused of assault. And Mayor Zohran Mamdani is spitting mad about this. Mamdani is angry for the same reason that people like Ilhan Omar are mad about ICE and deportations. They're mad because these are people that actually see as their constituents, right? There's people that work for them that they're taking under their wing, but apparently they're overstaying visas and they're also attacking, or there's some type of criminal investigations on them already. So not the American people, but the people who are in this country. So in this, you see that a lot of people have noticed that even New Yorkers, that the Democrats are more loyal to people who are in the country illegally versus people that are already been here for generations, especially in New York City. So they're more loyal to these types of individuals than anybody else in New York City that has been here for decades. So socialist mayor Zohran Mamdani is outraged over federal officials detaining a city council staffer accused of overstaying his visa after being involved in an assault case, right? Here's the name of the guy. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security identified the man as a 53-year-old Rafael Andres Rubio Borges. Fox News reported on Monday. Mamdani addressed the situation on social media. He says he is outraged to hear a New York City Council employee was detained in Nassau County by federal immigration officials at a routine immigration appointment. This is an assault on our democracy, he says, and on our city and on our values. I am calling for his immediate release and will continue to monitor the situation. So here's his post right here. I wanted to really read this post because again, you know, how do you go from telling ICE that they're not welcomed in New York City to one of your people, one of your guys is actually getting arrested and detained? So, you know, what's going on here? Zohran, what's happening? Well, let's actually dig more deep into the story because this is what's happening in New York City. And we already kind of knew that this would eventually be one of the biggest cases in New York City is who will be working for Zohran Mamdani, especially because they believe there's people that really believe. And I'm talking about people, not even MAGA, but just people that notice these types of behaviors. Like there was a foundational Black American situation, right, where a woman was talking to a man. He was running to be elected official. And she was like, well, I'm Black and I realized that you're more loyal to immigrants. That's why you're running for office. But as you're running for office, you're actually more loyal to people who aren't even from here versus being more loyal to me. Take a listen to this.
As soon as you said that you were a Jamaican American, it immediately let me know your relationship to this country. And so because your relationship to this country is that you were an immigrant and your family wasn't imported through the slave trade, I understand that you're not a descendant.
It's not true. It's not true. Let's just stop there. Don't say anything about my family. I was born in the Bronx. You're about to say some nonsense right now.
Yes, but again. He is a Jamaican American. I didn't say that. I'm not a Jamaican nothing. I am a free man. I'm a descendant of chattel slavery. Me, Whitley Janae Gates, my family. There is no Jamaica. There is no Caribbean for me to go back to. So his proclivity and how he sees this country is going to be completely different than someone who is a descendant of chattel slavery. Completely different. So of course he wants more immigrants here. Of course, immigration, specifically illegal immigration to him, as he stated, is a sign of growth. Of course, he believes that we should be utilizing our tax dollars and our resources to support people who've come over here, who've broken the law to be in this country, because it benefits his family. It benefits the story.
Yo.
So now that you guys know that New York City ain't playing around with these types of individuals like the Zohran Mamdani types, because what they're seeing is that this is getting more out of hand, right? So again, Zohran said that he is outraged. He wants the, immediate release of this man. And everybody in the comments under his comments are saying, well, I was outraged by your horrific music career. Now look at us, all outraged and shit. Nope, he's going back to wherever the hell he came from. Nobody is above the law, right? Oh, blow me. So everybody is basically talking about this. Even Matt Van Swole says he was detained by Border Patrol in Arizona near the border in 2018. And he says he was a government employee working as a scientist for the U.S. Department of Energy, not angry, at the time. And guess what? Not a damn thing happened to me because I was following the law. By the way, let's actually take a look at Matt Van Swole and what he looks like. I don't know why I can't see a picture of him. Oh, here he is. Damn, ICE is out here detaining white men. ICE out here. You know that Renee Good, she sure was not brown. So this whole idea. Well, I don't know. They were out here detaining white men. Anyways, it's a running joke. I hope you understand where I'm coming from. So, anyways, you go back to the reports here. The person in question was here on an expired tourist visa, 2017. What did he think was going to happen? How the hell do you start hiring and hire people that you don't even know their legal status, knowing that you are going to war with the Trump administration over this exact thing? And in fact, there's even a video that people are pointing to, right, about this, about the fact that Zohran was actually telling people, right? So communist Zohran Mamdani is now posting videos teaching criminal aliens how to evade ICE. I mean, this is kind of ironic, right? How do you go from teaching to one of your guys getting locked up?
Last weekend, ICE attempted to raid Canal Street and detain our immigrant neighbors. As mayor, I'll protect the rights of every single New Yorker, and that includes the more than 3 million immigrants who call this city their home. But we can all stand up to ICE if you know your rights. If you encounter ICE, these are the things that every New Yorker should know. First, ICE cannot enter into private spaces like your home, school, or a private area of your workplace without a judicial warrant signed by a judge. That looks like this. If ICE does not have a judicial warrant signed by a judge, you have the right to say, I do not consent to entry, and the right to keep your door closed. Sometimes ICE will show you paperwork that looks like this.
You have something in your home right now that could make you thousands of dollars and literally change your financial future. Books. Actual, real, physical books. Not reading the books, not trying to become an author to sell thousands of copies of books, but actually just flipping books for profit. You might not be aware, but the book market is gigantic. Billions and billions of dollars in books are sold every single year. In fact, over 70% of all of the products on Amazon are books. That's how giant the market is, and you can absolutely cash in on this market. How do I know that? Well, because that's exactly what we've been doing over the last 8 years. We've been flipping these little profit nuggets, as I call them, every single day. And the market's so huge, we've actually shown several people how to do this. They have also had success. A couple examples. This is Leopold. Leopold has already made over $400,000 in less than 2 years doing this part-time. Here's another example. Victor, he is a retired band teacher from Canada, has already crossed over $100,000, soon to be $200,000, and has no real technical skills. He'll be the first to tell you that. Now, what else is possible?
And tell you that they have the right to arrest you. That is false. ICE is legally allowed to lie to you, but you have the right to remain silent. If you're being detained, you may always ask, am I free to go? Repeatedly until they answer you. You are legally allowed to film ICE as long as you do not interfere with an arrest. It is important to remain calm during any interaction.
By the way, as long as you don't interfere with an arrest.
The arrest. Okay. They're going to bring that shit down here. We in New York City, baby. We don't play that shit. Come on.
Renee Good was not following that. Again, like there's so much conversation here. There's so much to pretty much unfold between these videos, but he was giving instructions on basically how to evade or follow orders or basically kind of just go against ICE in that way. But it looks like, again, he's losing his mind about somebody who was now detained and might be deported, who was one of his employees or one of the people that's working in his administration. So how crazy is that, right? And here's an update here. New York City Council staffer detained by ICE deportation order from 2017 surfaces.
See that?
Manhattan federal agents.
They got criminals working in the mayor's office. Criminals working in the mayor's office. You know?
With ICE and Homeland Security investigations detained a New York City Council employee earlier today, sources confirmed. The arrest was reportedly occurred during a scheduled immigration court appearance on Long Island. So here we go. Here's an update.
Right now, we're in downtown Manhattan, where a New York City Council employee is being held by ICE and HSI. Earlier in the daytime, the New York City Council employee was detained by federal authorities after he appeared at a routine immigration court date. Now, new details have just emerged that allegedly the employee caught an assault case back in 2017 and was ordered to leave the country. Now, these are new breaking news details that just came out. This is a pretty big story. You heard it first here on Viral News NYC.
So shout out to Viral News NYC for sharing this update. And here we go. I want to show you this because there is friction between Democrats. Democrats have friction between each other. This is Senator John Fetterman speaking against Zohran Mamdani and against, people like AOC and, of course, his Democrat constituents, like Ilhan Omar. And he's basically showing the numbers and showing the facts behind all of this. Take a listen.
Border, and it was skyrocketing, and it's like, that's unsustainable. When you reach almost 300,000 people, that's unsustainable. And we need to, as a Democrat, it shouldn't be unreasonable to want to secure our border and do it in that way. And now let's also talk about ICE. Now, absolutely. Again, what happened in Minneapolis was absolutely tragic. And then now, if you think, now this is from the Washington Post, this is the latest statistics. These are people that ICE now are, it's like now 67% have criminal charges, pending ones, or that. So that's more than 2/3. The people now there are some people that aren't involved in any kinds of illegal things, but so me, I think two things can be true. Round up all the criminals, deport them. They shouldn't have ever been here, and they definitely have to go. And now I don't want to see more and more things happening in Minneapolis now too. So two things must be true. And I strongly reject the extreme on either side, about this now. So we must be true. And, I watched you earlier in your show. You just pointed out President Obama deported, millions of people, and there wasn't having the same kind of outrage here.
Wow. That is coming from John Fetterman, a sitting Democrat senator, speaking about Obama, speaking about the comparisons and the hypocrisy between his own party. His own party being hypocrites, called them out, going nuclear on them. And, I just think that, we also see, I want to give you guys the other side of this. Joe Rogan came out. He basically said this is not a good look. What happened in Minneapolis, Minnesota is not a good look. And I tend to agree with that to a degree of not being a good look because it just takes so much attention away from the good things that could and is happening with the Trump administration, with capping bringing interest rates down or making homes more affordable, gas prices, egg prices, attacking affordability. but then you have a huge problem. But then the other side of that is it does also show you how crazy Democrats are and how deranged they are. They're willing to basically side with people they know might have committed crimes and are here illegally. And they're just like, F it, yo, we're just going to, we're so against Trump that we don't even want to clean up our immigration system because it's going to benefit Trump's narrative. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to smash the like button. Let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know what you guys think about Joe Rogan. I'll be talking about Joe Rogan about that because, look,
and hit that link.
He has his thoughts. You might have yours. I might have mine. But one thing is for certain, the Democrats are definitely pushing the needle here because they think that they can win on behalf of ICE agents versus the American people narrative. But when you really look at it, it's not as complex as they're trying to make it seem. And even John Fetterman knows that. So make sure to smash the like button again. See you guys on the next.
Using Excel? Yeah, I don't think so. So I saw yet another finance software telling people to stop using Excel, and I was
Yeah.
I'm talking CRM.
We live. We're going to get into some of the current events we got. They're cooked. Who's that?
Spreadsheet just crashed meltdown. So if you're financing,
Matt Morrison. We live. Let's get it.
This is coming
Matt Morrison.
The FBI and partners have arrested Giorgio James Jones out of Minneapolis, the individual who allegedly destroyed federal property and smashed windows attempting to breach the Minneapolis courthouse a couple days ago. As we've said repeatedly, if you attack law enforcement, impede their operations, or engage in destructive behavior, this FBI will find you and bring you to justice. So we have another big arrest today. In fact, and you know what is so funny is this footage, this screenshot here is from a YouTuber. His name is Mercado Media. I can see the emblem and the logo in the bottom left. Mercado Media, he is a far left YouTuber. He's a far left podcaster. And so what is so hilarious is that it was the footage from a member of the far left media on YouTube was used by the FBI to arrest a member of the far left.
Worked out like
irony,
a
right? How rich is that? How rich is that? Beautiful. You love to see it. You love to see it. Splendid. Now we have another arrest earlier today. We're going to go through the details on this one. Last night during a riot, excuse me, folks. Last night during a riot in Minneapolis, a U.S. citizen was arrested for assaulting ICE officers while carrying a firearm.
Stupid.
The individual showed up to the protest with a gun and a box of ammunition in a bag. The individual threatened violence against law enforcement officers while pointing at the bag. After law enforcement deployed crowd control measures to calm an increasingly volatile crowd, the individual kicked a metal smoke canister at the officers. He then pushed an officer and was arrested for assault. While being arrested, he stated he had a firearm, which was located along with a box of ammunition. He was not carrying his concealed carry permit. This is not the peaceful protesting that the First Amendment protects. Most certainly, it is not. Was this individual peacefully protesting as our First Amendment says? Yeah, I don't think so. He's making threats of violence while pointing at the gun in his bag. Yeah, I don't think so. Peaceful protest. Now, earlier on in today's broadcast, I said that Donald Trump, the Trump administration really at large, made a really monumental legal victory today. Let's go ahead and talk about today's legal victory. The Third Court of Appeals has struck down the decision made by an activist judge to release pro-Hamas activist Mahmoud Khalil. Everybody remember this individual? He was talk of the town over summer, maybe 5-6 months ago. Mahmoud Khalil, he was detained. A judge got involved and said, you got to release him. You got to let him go. It went to the appellate court. And now the Third Circuit Court of Appeals said, actually, you can detain him again. Actually, cuff him. Put the cuffs back on. This is a huge win for the Trump administration. We will not allow terrorist supporters to endanger the national security of the United States of America. This individual, Mahmoud Khalil, was involved in instigating numerous pro-Hamas protests, riots on various university campuses in the country. Secretary of State Marco Rubio himself actually chimed in on this one specifically about 2 hours ago. He said, for the fake news peddling misinformation about the appellate ruling for Mahmoud Khalil, here is our stance in simple terms. If you sympathize with terrorists, your presence in this country, your presence is contrary to the national and foreign policy interests of the United States of America. You are not welcome here. Goodbye. And so that is where we are. So a series of arrests. President Trump is on the cusp of invoking the Insurrection Act. I think whether or not Trump invokes the Insurrection Act really is going to depend on what we see tonight, this weekend. Tonight, going into this weekend, what do these far left freaks in Minneapolis do? What do they do? Trump has issued the warning, as he legally has to do. He has to issue that warning. And so we're going to see what happens this weekend. The ball is up in the air right now. The ball is up in the air. And now it seems like Mahmoud Khalil is free to get deported out of the country. So, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, what I would love to do is go ahead and take a look at the super chats. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Wow, we are doing 2 daily live broadcasts every single day at this point, on top of some videos here and there. I want to say thank you, everyone. If you are new to the show, do me a favor, subscribe, hit the follow button, make sure to like today's video. Before you forget, you got to do it right now. Thank you. And I'm going to pull up these super chats before I forget and see what you find folks in the audience have had to say about all of today's news. Crazy day. Things are moving very fast in this country. It's hard to keep up to speed, even for a guy like me. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, first super chat of the day from Randy. Hi there, Randy. He says, congrats on 700K, my friend. Have some Stella to celebrate. You know, I'll tell you something. I said, sweetie, to my wife, I hit 700,000 on YouTube tonight. We're going out for dinner. So the second I wrap up this broadcast, thank you very much. We're going out. We're going to have a family dinner somewhere. I don't know where. Really, thank you guys for subscribing and tuning in every single day. The support is just colossal, monumental. So thank you. Thank you very much. We're going to have a nice little celebratory family dinner tonight after tonight's broadcast. Thank you very much. And onward and forward to 1 million someday. It might take a year. I don't know, but someday. Thank you very much. Canis Husky, he says,
looking for a woman who will steal your heart and lead you into a world of passion, mystery, and endless romance? Your perfect match might be closer than you dare to dream. Enchanting Asian beauties are waiting for you. These irresistible women are seeking not just a partner, but a soulmate to share their most intimate moments. Could you be the one? Step into a world of secrets and desire. Every encounter is a spark of magic. Every new connection a whisper of something destined. Step beyond the ordinary and into the extraordinary. Your love story begins here. No waiting, no limits, just an open road to the woman who could change your life forever. The question is, are you ready to take that step? She's already waiting for you to find her. Your story is ready to begin. Don't miss your chance. Sign up now and start searching for your destiny.
You know what? While we're doing super chats, ladies and gentlemen, if you will permit me, while we're doing super chats here, why don't we just go ahead and why don't we go MAGA mode? Ladies and gentlemen, we are going MAGA mode. Warning, you are entering the MAGA zone. Be careful going forward. Patriots only. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get back to the super chats. Thank you very much. We have a super chat here from JRG Projects. He says, the Dems are pushing the envelope to the point that the only way they will back off is with overwhelming force. I think you're right. I think it's about at that point. Minnesota must be made an example of, a very public example. I I agree. I couldn't agree more. Me and my hat could not agree more. Thank you very much. True. I mean, you're right. You're, of course, jokes aside, you're totally right. You're 100% right. Absolutely. This cannot be allowed to stand. We must make them kneel. It is true. Thank you, sir. JP Moon, $100 super chat, by the way. Whoa. Thank you very much. He says, OMG, long live Patriots. Love the show. Matt, Mr. JP Moon. Nice Pepe the Frog avatar, by the way. Patriots are in control. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. That's a massive level of support. That goes a long way. Without viewers like you, without viewers like all of you, there would be no show. So thank you very much for tuning in night after night. Thank you very much. That's a big one. That's a massive one. We have a super chat here from Ruby Hoof. Thank you. Good to see you again. Good evening. Waltz should go to prison, not just lose his job. Insurrection Act is being activated. First off, activate it. Second off, yes. Waltz needs to be in a prison cell. Yes, he needs to be charged federally as an insurrectionist, and he needs to be sitting inside of a prison cell. Yes, hit that like button if you agree. Hey, make sure to subscribe if you agree. Good one. I agree, Ruby. I agree. Joseph, he says, what up, Matt? Thanks for what you do. I live in Colorado where they tried to remove Trump from the ballot. Plan failed. Rip Charlie Kirk. True. Rest in peace. I think about Charlie Kirk like every day, by the way. True. First off, yes. Second, so you know better than anybody what they tried to do. The baloney that they tried to pull in Colorado during the Republican primary, right? Where they tried to rip Trump off the ballot. I'm still astounded that the Supreme Court shot that down in a 9-0 decision. The Supreme Court shot that down. Crazy. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you. And so he says, Dr. Doofenshmirtz has a better success rate against Perry the Platypus than the Democrats have against Trump. Minnesota is going to lure this Saturday. I think, listen, this weekend is going to be an eventful weekend. I'm thinking that this Saturday night, we're going to do some live riot watch. Are you guys down Saturday night riot watch in the evening? We'll see what they do. We'll be here for like a couple hours, 3, 4, 5 hours. Friday, tomorrow, of course, is formal Friday. But I think that on Saturday, we'll do some live riot watch. I think so. Also, I'm sorry. Who in the hell is Dr. Doofenshmirtz? Am I supposed to know who Perry the Platypus? Who is that? Who is Perry the Platypus? And Dr. Doofenshmirtz. Anyway, hey, great. They sound like great people. They sound great. I don't know. I don't know who that is. We have a super chat here from Missy. Says $2 challenge. Missy, thank you. Yeah, listen, however big or small or non-existent at all, I appreciate you guys just being here. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, Missy. Mike Williams, Mr. Williams, he says, if an illegal alien is arrested anywhere in America, no bond should be allowed, period. End of damn story. Yeah, this is, okay, you have raised like a very basic question that I actually don't know the answer to. Can illegal aliens get out on bond? I don't think so. I don't think so. Can you imagine how absurd? Well, of course. Okay. Well, they're not supposed to in sanctuary states. I would imagine, actually, now that I think about it, the answer might be yes. The answer might be yes in sanctuary states, but otherwise, normally, under normal circumstances, they are not supposed to be able to. Let's say that. Sanctuary states a little bit different, though. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Williams. Thank you. Rub-a-Duck says, do you think we will do some kind of invasion of Canada because of their dealing with China? No, I don't think we're going to invade Canada. If anything, if the Trump administration really starts getting concerned about China's relationship with Canada, then I think that the U.S., the Trump administration, will just start sort of exerting pressure on Canada in the same way that we have exerted pressure on various other countries. But no, I don't think there will be an invasion. I don't think so. This cord is driving me crazy. Retired Nana, she says, they need to be deported because the Democrats will give them amnesty, send to El Salvador for life. We know for an absolute fact, we've heard from numerous senior ranking Democrats that the second they have the capacity to do so, The Democrats, they are going to grant mass amnesty for and a pathway to citizenship for every single illegal alien currently in the country. We know that that is what they want. So I don't know, how many illegal aliens do we have? 35, 40, 50 million? I don't know. However tens of millions of legal aliens we have, the second the Democrats have the House, the Senate, and the White House, they will go nuclear, and they will grant mass amnesty to every single one of them. Alongside many other things that would destroy the Republic. They will do that, though, of course. You're right. Thank you, Nana. Thank you, retired Nana. This is Donna from Dallas, Texas, says, you're the best, Matt. Keep up the great info. Hey, I remember you from last night. Donna from Dallas, Texas. Shout out everybody from Dallas. Thank you, Donna. I appreciate that. Thank you for coming back and tuning in. You know, I understand you guys only have so much time in the day in your life, and I'm very blessed that you guys have chosen to share your time with me during these live shows and my YouTube videos and on Rumble. So, hey, I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for giving me your time and your attention. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. It means a lot. Time is a very precious resource, and you guys are sharing it with me, so I appreciate that. Presto 36, he says, I have some concerns about this change with pauses on visas from certain countries. I have a girlfriend from Myanmar. She works full-time as a nurse and wants to assimilate properly. How are we supposed to stay optimistic? You know, if that is your personal situation, I don't know, like maybe get married. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you need to get married. I don't know. Good luck sorting that out. Ruby Hoove says, ICE should be thanked and given a raise. True. Heroes. ICE patriots. Heroes. Hero patriots. Saviors of the Republic. When I see an ICE officer, I'm looking at an American hero, at a savior of this republic. That's who I'm looking at. No, thank you. No, I agree. You're right. Dude, my nose is itchy tonight. Thank you. Craig Morris, thank you very much. He said, this is a big one too, a $50 super chat. He says, sir,
are you using your home address for business, but know it's hurting your brand image? At iPostal One, we can help. Growing your business is tricky, we know, and getting customers to trust you can be challenging, especially if you use your home as your business address. But renting an office space is expensive, and most virtual office addresses cost an arm and a leg. So what are your options? Well, at iPostal One, we've got you covered. You can get a business address at a real physical location, not a P.O. box. Choose from any of the thousands of addresses in our network and immediately upgrade your brand image. We receive your mail and packages, and all you have to do is view and manage your mail with our app or online. It's as easy as that. Upgrade your business image today with a digital mailbox from iPostal1.com.
I guess you could go to Turkey. Go to Turkey and get the hair plugs they have in Turkey. That's one way to do it. I think Elon Musk did that. I don't know. This is Captain Dumbass. He says, can we trade Minnesota for Alberta and British Columbia? They want to be American. Minnesota wants to be shithole. Even trade, bad trade thoughts. Listen, this is my thing. We need to stop giving the leftists anything at all whatsoever, period. So if the idea is, well, Minnesota's a lost cause, let them have it. Trade it for something else. No. How about we retake Minnesota? It's not a lost cause because we are still here because our hearts are still beating. It is not a lost cause. There was a battle going on and we will win the battle. We are not going to surrender. We're not going to give it up. We're not going to walk away. We're not going to bury our head in the sand. We are going to take it back. And then we're coming for California and Ohio and Washington and Oregon and Maine and Vermont. We will not stop until the entire country has been purged of this far left, radically progressive, subversive ideology, this rot, the plague. We are not done until it has been conquered and defeated. Okay? And we're not going to trade it for anything else. Now, I don't know. Maybe we could have a conversation about Alberta. I don't know. Maybe we could get our hands on Alberta. Who knows? I don't know. But that's a different conversation. This is Wes B. Plan. He says, not just a felony. We need to make sure felons can't vote and election integrity is in place. Yes, we need election integrity. Very true. Very true. I think felons already can't vote. I'm not sure. Andrew Jackson, he says, every time I see Minneapolis police chief, it looks like he is second guessing all of his life choices. Yeah, I mean, listen, hey, I think I've kind of looked at that guy's body language also. Every time I see him, I kind of have the same impression that you have. It's like slowly dawning on him that he is on the wrong side of the equation, that he is on the losing team. And I think that police chief in Minneapolis is slowly coming to that realization. He's not looking as confident as he was a couple weeks ago. He's looking a little bit glum. Okay, let's say that. No, I think you're right. I think you're right about that. This is from Blanca Zamora, says Jumbo Pam is not doing a damn thing. She's doing a couple things, but she could be doing more things. She's doing a couple things. She could be doing more, though. Retard Nana says Hillary Clinton and Pelosi spoke out like Obama. Oh, yeah, back in the day. No, back in the day, the Democrats, allegedly, they wanted to shut the border down. They never actually really did, but it was a talking point at least. Now they're just open about it. Now they don't even pretend. Blanca Zamora says Jumbo. Okay, we saw that one. This is from Ruby Hoob, says break the law. There are consequences to breaking the law. Not very hard to understand. And play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Very true. They were effing around, and now it is time to find out. Now it's time to find out. We have a super chat here from Frank Bailey. He says they will happily take federal money, but won't follow federal laws. So we should cut them off of the federal money, right? That seems to be a good move. And by the way, the Trump administration is doing that. They announced 2 days ago that they are cutting every single sanctuary state off of the federal dollar. Good. Shut them down. Thank God. This is Doug Ward. Mr. Ward, he says, the winning continues. This is exactly what I voted for. God bless our president and God bless the United States of America. True. Thank you very much. I gave a big rant about this earlier today. The Democrats are losing, and I think that they know that they are losing, and this is why they are becoming increasingly agitated and violent and aggressive. This is a death rattle. This is the final shriek of a dying beast, if we can make a metaphor here. They know that they are losing, and this is why they are getting increasingly belligerent, because they know their entire power structure, the entire apparatus that they have spent decades building out, the paid protesters, the foreign money, the NGOs, the taxpayer-funded slush funds, the illegal alien invasion, all of this, they know that it's getting shut down and ripped apart by President Trump and his administration. They know that they are losing. They are on the cusp of losing everything. And that's why they're freaking out and melting down right now. Now, we had 20 gifted community memberships from Bruce. Bruce, sir, that's massive. Thank you very much. Bruce Rice, thank you for those. That really is a big deal. Paul McBay, thank you, sir. Hey, good evening. Good evening. Mr. McBay, sir. And we had one final big super chat here from Mark Volker. He said, it's not just the Democrats. Senator Emmer, Rhino, Republican Rhino, sits on the Somali caucus board and helped Keith Ellison, Democrat Antifa, that's the Attorney General for Minnesota, write the bill that funds the Somali fraud. He's up for re-election this year. Now, maybe I'm misremembering. Why did I think that Senator Emmer is retiring, that he's stepping down? At a minimum, if he's not, I know that Trump has publicly said, you are getting primary. Trump is waging war against this guy if he's not retiring. I don't know why I thought he was retiring, though, but maybe not. Anyway, yeah, Rhino alert. Trump has already called him out. Enough is enough. Got to get rid of this guy. Everyone, I want to say thank you. Can I speak English? Hey, gracias. Hey, everybody, gracias. I better be careful. I don't want to get deported myself. Everyone, thank you all very much for tuning in tonight, this morning, every single day. Thank you all very much. Insane amount of support lately. The super chats, everybody tuning in. So many viewers, I can't even count that high. The likes, the follows, everybody is subscribing. We just hit 700,000 subscribers on YouTube. We're going to hit 50,000 on Rumble. So thank you, everybody in Rumble as well. Massive support on Rumble. Everyone, thank you very much. That is going to be a wrap for today's broadcast. I promised my wife I would take her out for dinner tonight, so I got to get out of here. I will be back tomorrow, another early morning broadcast at 11 Western. That's 2 p.m. Eastern. We're here twice a day, plus videos and everything else. So everybody, God bless and stay safe. Have a great night. Tomorrow's going to be a crazy day. It's going to be Formal Friday, of course, by the way. And we'll be hitting it hard tomorrow. So everybody, I'll see you folks tomorrow. Thank you, everybody. Take care. And I'll see you tomorrow once again. Take care, everyone.
That nigga shorting the show, man. Fuck is going on with you, boy? Got some shit going on. Check it out. Find some shit right quick. What's going on? Mega what? Mega who? Mega what? Yes, sir.
Struggling with Wi-Fi dead zones that
Spread bread on those. As we continue on to give you the information that you need. Check this out.
We're asking about
You
fraud.
know,
We're asking about fraud.
You hate Muslims. You son of a sensationalize this.
Wow, you're
Get
very
the
nice.
fuck out of our neighborhood.
Very nice.
Get the fuck out of our
Sir,
neighborhood.
can you tell me where the transportation
Get the fuck
company
out
is?
of our neighborhood.
I really hope you get some help. You and the Republicans here. Take care, okay, ma'am?
I'm sorry, I couldn't go to the learning centers that you're running over in Minnesota, but I think you should perhaps read.
Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell to get notifications anytime I go live or make a video. Make sure you still subscribe to this channel, like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Let's get into this. And the reason I add them in there, because as you're going to see, if we didn't have Black Line, which I call it the line between good and evil, what do you think they'd have done to Nick Shirley today? Let's watch it. Let's watch it. Roll the clip.
How are you? We're looking for the transportation company.
Safari Transportation?
Looking for Safari Transportation.
No, there's no Safari Transportation here.
No Safari Transportation.
Safari Transportation, 607 Cedar Avenue.
We're just looking for Safari Transportation.
We don't know.
So, but this is registered for Safari Transportation,
know.
607.
Okay, we don't know.
We're asking where Safari Transportation is.
We don't know.
Okay, so the business is not here.
Don't record.
Fuad Omar?
Fuad Omar.
We don't know. This. We don't know.
Money transferring. Okay, registered. This is fraud taking place. This is supposed to say, this is for Safari Transportation.
Go find out.
Yeah, we did find out. This is fraud right here.
Registered here
This is
since
registered.
2015.
2015?
Safari Transportation, state of Minnesota.
2015. Oh, yeah.
Well, but it's registered now. This is current, just off the state of Minnesota website today.
Sir, please.
This is from today. I just printed this off today. Fuad Omar.
Go check it out.
We're here. This is 607. Where's Safari Transportation?
Okay, it's no Safari, period.
Okay, so it's a fraudulent business.
Did you see Safari anything here?
Exactly.
Did you see?
Exactly. It's
Did
not
you
here.
see it?
It's a fraud.
Did you see, sir?
Okay, thank you. We're going to go to the next address. All right, let's keep moving on. So 607, this is supposed to be Safari Transportation, no transportation company. And now we're going to 617, another transportation company. However, it is actually Cedar Riverside Liquor. Where is the transportation company?
617.
617 right here?
Dreamline Transportation for the state of Minnesota is registered to 617 Cedar Avenue South.
And it's a liquor store. David, they aren't even trying to hide that these are transportation companies. Where are the vans at?
Should we ask?
Let's go ask.
Hey, we're looking for Dreamline Transportation.
What's that?
Now we're in 617.
Now, this is one, we got a bunch of videos I got to get through. I'm not going to talk too much, but somebody, I was playing devil's advocate. Well, the companies or the people who are there, it don't matter. The state is effing you. Do you not get that? There's no way that Brandon Tatum can have a business at an address that don't exist, or I have an address where the business don't exist. They will shut me down. I'm committing fraud. I'm putting fraudulent information out to the public. If my business is registered here, it's got to be here. IRS will be all over my ashy elbows. But yet nobody knows what's going on.
And I knew this video was going to be super dangerous to film because of obviously how hostile it is, and as we are exposing legit fraud happening. I did get security for this video, and I was able to do it through the Black Line Guardian. And if you guys want to help fund my security in the future, you can go down to the link down below. They're not paying me to say any of this. They came in and decided to help me out for this video. So you can go to Black Line Guardian, the link's down below, and click Guardian for Nick, and those funds will directly go to my security and future videos as we are exposing lots of things happening, and especially with this fraud. Like I said, they're not sponsoring this video. I'm just giving them a shout out because of how they helped me. So go down the link down below, click Guardian for Nick, and let's keep going.
Let's go to the next clip.
So this is actually the location for Silver Mountain Inc., LLC, and Co. Let's see if any... Yes, we're wondering where Silver Mountain.
Silver Mountain?
Silver Mountain.
Oh, I don't know that. What is this?
It says 2722 Park Avenue.
Where
Is Silver Mountain here?
Silver Mountain. You don't have a permission to do that.
Okay,
You
so
were
Silver
ju-
Mountain does not exist.
You were
No, the name, the name's not, the name's not Silver Mountain, it's just Silver Mountain.
Don't ask me
Healthcare.
that. When you come,
All right,
So
sir.
Silver
Well,
Mountain-
so
It's
Silver,
another way
so
to-
Silver
to
Mountain
do
does
it
not
to make a
exist.
business. You're making a
2722
business.
Park
You have
Avenue.
millions of people watching you.
Silver
You're making
Mountain.
business to
Okay,
different
sir.
people.
2722.
You have millions of people watching right
Yes.
now. Where is Silver Mountain
I don't know
Home
where
Healthcare?
Silver Mountain is.
Okay, well that's what we're
But
looking for. All right, we're
me
moving on.
sitting there-
So Silver Mountain does not exist. David, we're just simply asking for where is Silver Mountain Home
Can't
Healthcare?
find any of these companies. I mean, this is shocking. 3 companies are supposed to be in that building, and he's never heard of them. He doesn't know anything about them.
They never heard of them. They don't even know who to talk to. They never heard of the business, and it's registered to their address. You can't register a company. Well, I can say it like this: you can, but there have to be permission to register a company, multiple companies in the same address. Like there have to be, like for instance, I own a few companies. A few of them are registered at the same address, and you know how? Because I'm responsible at this building, and I register them, and I get the mail. And so if somebody else's mail was coming here because they're registered here, I'm gonna call the people, because ain't nobody getting no mail here. I pay for this place. Come on, next clip.
This
Now,
has nothing to do.
So this is going to save my medical business, right?
I don't know. But what I do know is that most medical...
I have no idea where there's parking. I'm parking them because there is no parking anywhere near this office.
We've arrived to the transportation company. We're outside, and right there we have a Loving Arms Adult Daycare. All the windows are completely boarded out right there, and there's supposed to be a transportation company registered right here. It's 617, but it's a liquor store. Okay, so the location here is 607 and also 617. These are 2 transportation companies. We're on a main road right now, and this is 607, and it is not a transportation company. It's actually a money transfer, but it's registered here, 607. This does not look like Safari Transportation. Where is the transportation company?
I don't see any signs denoting that there's any transportation. It's all just looks like money wiring. But if you look at the Secretary of State's office, state of Minnesota, Safari Transportation, 607 Cedar Avenue, and it's been registered here since 2015. That was the original filing.
So let's see if we have the manager. Let's see if we can find Fod. Hello. How are you? We're looking for the transportation company.
Safari Transportation?
Looking for Safari Transportation.
No, there's no Safari Transportation here.
No Safari Transportation?
Safari
Sir,
Transportation,
please,
607 Cedar Avenue.
We're just looking for Safari Transportation.
We don't know.
So, but this is registered for Safari Transportation,
know.
607.
That's the address.
Okay, we don't know.
We're asking where Safari Transportation is.
We don't know.
Did you
Okay,
know
so the
Fuad
business is
Omar?
not here.
Don't record.
Fuad Omar?
Fuad Omar?
We don't know. This, do you see this? What is this?
Money transferring.
That's it.
Okay,
Well, this
registered.
is from the state.
This is fraud taking place. This is supposed to say, this is for
Go
Safari
find out.
Transportation.
Go find out.
Yeah, we did find out. This is fraud right here.
Registered here
This is
since
registered.
2015.
2015?
Safari Transportation, state of Minnesota.
2015. Oh, yeah.
Well, but it's registered now. This is current, just off the state of Minnesota website today.
Sir,
Please.
This is from today. I just printed this off today. Fuad Omar.
go check it out.
We're here. This is 607. Where's Safari Transportation?
Okay, it's no Safari, period.
Okay, so it's a fraudulent business.
Did you see Safari, anything here?
Exactly.
Did you see?
Exactly. It's
Did
not
you
here.
see it?
It's a fraud.
Did you see, sir?
Okay, thank you. We're going to go to the next address. All right, let's keep moving on. So 607, this is supposed to be Safari Transportation, no transportation company. And now we're going to 617, another transportation company. However, it is actually Cedar Riverside Liquor. Where is the transportation company?
617.
617 right
Dreamline
here.
Transportation for the state of Minnesota is registered to 617 Cedar Avenue South.
And it's a liquor store. David, they aren't even trying to hide that these are transportation companies. Where are the vans at?
Should we ask?
Let's go ask.
Hey, we're looking for Dreamline Transportation.
What's that?
Now we're in 617, Dreamline Transportation.
No.
Where is the transportation company?
No, we don't have this.
You ever heard of Safari Transportation?
Safari? I know Safari, that money wiring, 607.
The money wiring?
Yeah.
Okay, that's money wiring.
Yeah.
We're looking for Safari Transportation.
607.
They said they never heard of it.
I never did. Safari company, the money wiring, they send money there. That's the 607.
So Safari gets the money and then they wire it out.
Yeah, the money.
That man just said that Safari is actually a money wiring company, so therefore they're receiving money and then wiring it somewhere underneath the name of a transportation company.
So we said to go here.
Suite A right here. And then you have 617A right here, but this is reliable services, immigration, travel, and tax. I do not see a transportation company anywhere.
Good morning. Hey, we're hoping to find Dreamline Transportation. You ever heard of it?
I've never heard of it. Ask next door.
He said to ask here. That you would know.
Ask next door. This is a mailbox. It's not a real call.
So, Dreamline Transportation could be nothing more than a mailbox. 834.
So it could be one of these mailboxes. Well,
okay, see you later.
607, Safari Transportation, doesn't exist. It's actually a money wiring business. 617, Dreamline, inside of there, it's actually a liquor store. And then 617A is a place where there's a bunch of mailboxes and it says reliable ITT services. How are you doing, man?
I just want to ask you,
Yes, sir.
why are you sensationalizing the propaganda?
What are we sensationalizing?
To attack our community. What's your final objective?
We're not attacking your community by any means.
Are you making good money from this?
We're looking for fraud.
No,
for instance, can you answer our question? Where's Safari Transportation Company 607? It's not there. And why don't you answer?
How much money are
why don't you answer the question? Where's 617 Dreamline Security?
How much money are you making?
I make money off of YouTube. That's how I make my money.
Exactly. So you're making money off of sensationalizing.
That my job
and attacking
is
the Somali community.
I'm not attacking you guys. We're asking.
I'll tell you
fraud
the reason
is
why
fraud,
this is
sir.
happening. All right, let me tell you the reason why
fraud
you're
is fraud,
this.
correct?
Yes.
This has nothing to do with race. This is fraud.
This
is fraud.
absolutely has to do with us being Muslim.
No, it does not.
All right, and us being from Africa. This is a constitutional argument. If you don't want us here, change the freedom of religion. Say, listen, you don't want Muslims in this country anymore.
We're not saying that.
No.
We're not saying that.
When I go
Sir,
onto
we're
your
talking
comments,
about fraud. You're talking.
when I go onto your comments,
My comments.
what I
aren't
see
me.
is people that say,
See how he tried to do that right there? He tried to whip whop the whip whopper. He tried to blame it on the fact that he's Muslim. Is why people upset. No. Look, we ain't mad because you're Muslim, brother. Or because you're from wherever you're from. We mad because you're faking businesses, brother. Like, he just went in all those establishments and none of that shit was there. What are you doing? You shouldn't even showed your face. I'm gonna show you how this dude, man. Hold on, let's get back.
we do not want Muslims here. Kick every single Muslim in Minnesota out of Minnesota.
That's a comment.
You are, listen,
That's not what I'm saying.
you're preparing for the Somali community to maybe be taken to concentration camps. Just like
How?
the Japanese community, all
How?
right? You're sensationalizing.
No, we're not.
All right,
Sir,
something that
answer
can,
the
listen,
question. Where
that's something
where
that can,
is the transportation
something
vehicle
that can
company?
jeopardize
Answer the question.
the safety and the protection of
This
the
is
Somali
fraud.
community.
We're talking. fraud.
I'm not doing anything.
I
I'm
know,
not physically touching
you're
you.
getting very close.
I'm not physically
You're
touching
very
you.
close.
No, I'm not physically touching you.
This is fraud.
What
We're
you're
talking about
doing,
fraud.
what you're doing,
You're
what
defending
doing,
fraud.
when
You're
I go
defending
into your
fraud.
comments,
You're defending fraud.
people who hate Muslims
Okay,
want
people
us
can-
out of here
people can say
for
what they
being
want. I'm not
Muslim,
censoring
are
anybody.
using your material. Islamophobes use your material. People who hate Islam use your material. Say to us, we don't want you here. Change the Constitution. But guess what?
No. We use his material to show that y'all stealing the money, man. Don't try to act like he's showing us. Y'all, listen, bruh. Who they think they talking to? My man, you a Somalian, man. You came off the boat, man. Stop playing with us, man. Yo, they talking about bringing that to New York. All right, let's see about that. Yo, listen.
Let me tell you something. Guess what?
Say it. We're asking about
you
fraud.
Know, what
We're
you
asking
do,
about fraud.
You hate Muslims.
I'm not saying I hate Muslims. We're talking about fraud.
Muslims.
We're talking
Why
about fraud.
Why are you attacking us?
This
are we
is
the
fraud.
only community that suffers because of fraud?
We're talking about
Are
fraud.
we the only community that does fraud? Are we the only community that does this?
This is about fraud.
There's what, 300 Somali
This is
providers in
fraud.
all of Minnesota?
There's actually 800.
Don't keep talking. Don't go
So,
do you speak English?
transportation companies.
Your security doesn't even speak English. Listen,
Yeah,
let me tell you
so
something.
see, this isn't a race issue, sir.
Listen, let me
this
tell
is
you
about
something.
fraud.
We have, what, 1,000 providers?
Yeah, you guys have a...
Even it's 2,000 providers.
Okay,
you
sir.
want to sacrifice the safety of 80,000 people
We're not
because of fucking 2,000 providers?
That's okay.
Are you fucking mad? Are you stupid?
I'm not stupid. You're stupid.
You're
Where's the transportation company?
What about if a mass shooting happens in Minnesota? It will be because of you. It will be because of you. If any Somali gets hurt in Minnesota, it's because of Nick fucking Shirley. If any Somali,
this is about
if
fraud.
one single Somali gets hurt,
This is about fraud,
it's because
sir.
of you. Sensationalizes, you son of a...
Do not buy Bitcoin. Become your own digital hedge fund instead. Is that what you would...
I gotta give it up to that somebody. He really went ham on Nick Shelley. Nick Shelley held his damn thing down. He got some security now, I see. That's what's popping, Nick. You know what I'm saying? Because they gonna try to get at you over there, boy. Look at this nigga. He's fully obeyed.
Wow, you're very nice.
Out of our neighborhood.
Very nice.
Get the fuck out of our
Sir,
neighborhood.
can you tell me where the transportation
Get the fuck out of
company
our neighborhood. We don't want you here. Get the fuck out of here.
is? Calm down, sir.
Get the fuck out of here.
Sir, this is
You
about
wanted
fraud.
sensationalize? You wanted clicks?
You're
You got clicks.
sensationalizing yourself,
You
sir.
wanted clicks?
You're
You
sensationalizing
got
yourself.
You wanted clicks? You wanted YouTube?
Tell me where the transportation
You wanted
vehicle
YouTube
is.
clicks? You got YouTube clicks. Now get the fuck out of our community.
Tell me where the transportation
Get the fuck out of our
vehicle
community.
is. Tell me where the...
You
This is about
stupid,
fraud.
racist motherfucker.
This is...
Say I don't want
This
Muslims
is about
here.
fraud.
Say I don't want Muslims here. Say it. Say
I'm
I
not-
want to change the Constitution.
No, I don't
and
want to change the
freedom of
Constitution.
religion, and I don't want Muslim Somalis in Minnesota. Kick them out. I was born in this country. You have to take the passport away from me.
Relax.
That is what you are
Sir,
arguing for.
we're not talking...
Change the Constitution.
This is about fraud.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Get the fuck out of our community.
This is about fraud.
Get the fuck out of our community. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Stupid fucking idiot.
Tell me where the transportation company is then.
Get the fuck out of here.
Obviously, for this video, we had to get security because look at this now. All right, we're going. We're going.
You have to go from here. I'm telling you.
But there is no transportation company in there. Fraud. There were no transportation companies.
No, none.
This isn't about race. This isn't against religion. This is about fraud. We're fighting fraud here. We're not fighting a race.
Well, and this is what happens when you put a spotlight on fraud. The people who are benefiting become extremely violent, and the Somalis are the most violent people I have ever met in my whole life.
Because he couldn't answer the question. Where was the transportation company?
He wouldn't answer the question. All he did was make it about race and then issue threats.
Neither business was there or operating, and giving a very conservative estimate based off of David's numbers and other numbers online, it's fair to say each business is operating with an average of 20 vehicles and with a much lower and generous rate of $25 per trip. And with 10 alleged trips a day, each business is pulling an estimate of $1.3 million in gross revenue. And with those two locations alone, there's over $2.6 million in estimated fraud. All right, we're going to the next location.
What's interesting, Nick, is that one of the places we just visited, the 617 Cedar Avenue South, that's for Dreamline Transportation. That's the address listed with the state of Minnesota. But the place that we're going right now is going to have vans that say Dreamline Transportation on them, but they haven't moved in months and months. You'll see they're covered with snow. There will be no tire tracks. And so why are they using this address? And all that was in there was a liquor store. And he told us to talk to the guy next door, and those were all just mailboxes. And then the guy next door said, go talk to him. I said, we just talked to him. Obviously, the cover up, and you see how they all stick together, and it's all this intimidation. And thank God we had the security we did there, because that would have been bad.
Now we're outside of this transportation vehicle company right here.
Yeah, and so you can see these are the vans that say Dreamline. You can see the sticker on the window and the numbers on the rear. None of these vehicles have moved in 8 months. I've been taking date stamp photos. All these vehicles are in the exact same spot they were 8 months ago. And look, there's no tire tracks, so they haven't moved.
And this van as well, this is Dreamline. Dreamline was the location where we got chased out from the Somalis on 617 Cedar. And this is a vehicle from Dreamline that actually didn't even exist. It was a liquor store. And now it's here, and the vans haven't moved at all. Literally, no vans and no tire tracks anywhere. If these vans are being used to transport people, whether it be healthcare, childcare, there would be snow tracks. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 vehicles here. No snow tracks anywhere. These vehicles are not being used, and these transportation companies are making lots of money. Meanwhile, there's actually nothing to show for. Here's all of the vehicles right here. And the vehicles that are coming in and out, like this Toyota, it does not have anything to do with transportation company because there's no stickers on it and there's snow tracks. But the vehicles that are supposed to be used for transportation are literally locked in. Snow is building icicles. No one's even came out to remove the snow off the window. These transportation vehicles are not moving. And then right here, David has more paperwork for Silver Mountain. And there's 3 different companies in the same address.
Yeah.
So when we talk about how all these companies are intertwined, this is a perfect example of that. And this is why these transportation companies are so essential to the fraud in Minnesota, because they allow the fraud to be supported, as the majority of the fraud is from welfare programs like daycares, autism centers, and adult daycares, and healthcare services. They need to leave a paper trail to make it look like something is happening. Therefore, they use these transportation companies to create that paper trail by saying they're moving people from an adult daycare to a healthcare provider, for example, but they actually never provide the service at the healthcare provider. But that paper trail allows them to continue to bill the state for the money, and everyone gets paid. That's why this fraud is so deep and hard to dismantle, because quite literally everyone is involved.
And it's all because the state of Minnesota never checks.
All right, so this is actually the location for Silver Mountain Inc., LLC, and Co. Let's see if any... Yes, we're wondering where Silver Mountain.
Silver Mountain?
Silver Mountain.
Oh, I don't know that. Where it is.
It says 2722 Park Avenue.
All of you, get out of here.
Where is
Silver Mountain here?
Silver Mountain. You don't have a permission to do that.
Okay,
You
so
were
Silver
ju-
Mountain does not exist.
You were
No, the name,
doing.
the name's not, the name's not Silver Mountain, it's just Silver Mountain
Don't
Home
ask me
Health
that.
Care.
When you come.
All right,
So
sir.
Silver
Well,
Mountain-
so
It's
Silver,
another way.
so
That's
Silver
the
Mountain
way
does
to
not
make a
exist.
business. You're making a
2722
business.
Park
You have
Avenue.
millions of people watching you.
Silver
You're making
Mountain.
business to
Okay,
600
sir.
people.
2720.
You have millions of people watching right
Yes.
now. Where is Silver Mountain
I don't
Home
know where
Healthcare?
Silver Mountain is.
Okay, well that's what we're
But
looking for. All
you
right,
would
we're
be
moving on.
sitting there-
So Silver Mountain does not exist. David, we're just simply asking for where is Silver Mountain Home
I can't
Healthcare?
find any of these companies. I mean, this is shocking. 3 companies are supposed to be in that building, and he's never heard of them. He doesn't know anything about them.
And look, so they don't exist there. Right there, Somali Senior Center and Adult Day Services, a daycare right there. All these welfare companies are in the same location, but their businesses, that business didn't even exist.
It's all fraud, all of it.
So right there is a transportation company, no passenger, just a driver. How come you think when it comes time to take accountability for what's happening, or just to answer simple questions about the fraud, they can't answer?
Well, I think their reaction tells you all you need to know. The reaction is so violent that if there was no fraud going on, they would say, what are you talking about? They would have a civil conversation, but they can't, because they know we're shining the light on the fraud and they have no defense. So in their mind, being loud and using profanity is their only defense.
Because I'm trying to give them the opportunity to say, where are the transportation companies? Where are the daycare? Where are the children? Where are the companies now? Yet they can't answer.
And to this point, Nick, the transportation companies we've been to, we haven't seen a single vehicle at any of them. In fact, some of them don't even exist. We can't even find them. We're going to the addresses that are listed on the Secretary of State's website as their business address.
This is a massive parking lot here. We're gonna go ask them where their vehicles are. They should not have any excuse as to why they don't have their vehicles here, other than if they are out driving right now. And what's the story behind this business?
Well, this business is new as of March of 2024. It's Muhammad Malim is the registered agent for 713 Minnehaha Avenue East.
Me and David headed into this building, however, the owner was not there. We're here at the suite of Epimonnia Transport LLC. There's actually not even a sign here.
Wait, if you or someone you know experienced unwanted touching, threats, or assault during an Uber or Lyft ride, a global settlement may be coming in 2026.
These rideshare companies allegedly knew about the problem for years, but put profits over passenger safety. The New York Times revealed that Uber received over 400,000 reports of sexual assault and misconduct between 2017 and 2022. According to one report every 8 minutes, CBS News, NBC News, and Rolling Stone are covering this because it's following the exact same pattern as other major corporate negligence cases. Here's what most survivors don't realize. If you experienced any inappropriate behavior during your ride, unwanted comments, touching, threats, sexual assault, or worse, you may qualify for substantial compensation. Legal experts predict settlements could range from $300,000 to $2 million, depending on the severity of your case. Over 2,700 survivors have already joined the federal lawsuit against Uber, with trials beginning in January 2025. But only if you act before critical filing deadlines. After that, you're permanently excluded. 85% of eligible survivors will miss this opportunity because they don't think their experience counts or they wait too long. It takes just 60 seconds to find out if you qualify. Click this ad now and answer 3 simple questions. Your information remains 100% confidential and there are 0 upfront costs. The attorneys only get paid if you win. There are absolutely no hidden fees or obligations. You won't pay a single penny unless you receive compensation. You're not committing to anything by checking your eligibility, but you must verify your qualification before the deadline. Don't let these companies get away with putting passengers at risk. Click now to see if you qualify for compensation. This page will be removed once the settlement moves forward.
Right now, as you watch this, your brain is being hijacked. You think you're in control. But there's a back door to your mind that 99% of people don't know exists.
Here. And anyone here. It looks like there's a guy over here. Let's see if we can talk to him really quick. Do you know about Epimonnia Transport here?
So there was a transportation company here in 305 for a long time, even before I joined the building a few years ago. He's never really here. I've seen the office a couple times. There's barely anything in there but a couch. And then I see him maybe twice a month at IF, so.
And there's no transport vehicles outside. Massive parking lot, but no transport.
I've never seen one. I've been here for 3 years and I'm always here. I'm a workaholic. I'm just nonstop here, so I know everybody in the building, and this specific space here is probably the most sketchy out of any other business here. Everyone else is here, they're friendlier. He just pops in and out.
For instance, this guy Muhammad, he should have his business in 308. There should be transportation vehicles outside. There's nothing.
That's weird that you say 308 because he's always been in 305 for the last 3 years.
Wow, so he's even lying on his public records with the government.
I would assume if he was to make and doing fraud, it makes sense to switch it up and throw people off track. It would be the first thing somebody would do, I would think.
So since the fraud has started to be exposed, Muhammad has left the scene, and that guy just said, he confirmed that there was never even been transportation vehicles outside. So Muhammad has completely left the scene. He's nowhere to be found, and this parking lot, massive parking lot, actually never even had any transport vehicles according to the guy who lived or had his office next to Muhammad. How quick do you think the fraud would dry out here in Minnesota if they were to cut out the transportation side of the fraud?
I think it would have a massive effect, and that the signal that would send would let people know the party's over.
Because if me and you were to go to the doctor, we either have to find a family member, drive ourselves, or pay for an Uber. How come they even have this set up?
Yeah, I tried to arrange a ride with one of these Somali transportation companies. They said they were all full. So now we're at 2833 13th Avenue South in Minneapolis. And there's supposed to be a non-emergency medical transportation company here called Advance Mobility Incorporated. And what's interesting about this company is that state records show that it first registered with the state of Minnesota in 1999.
And they have been in business for over 26 years.
Yes, correct.
And so we're going to go inside.
They must have a lot of vehicles.
So this is Advanced Mobility 2833, boarded up. All these windows are covered right here. We're going to see if we can go inside. There's a bunch of shops in here. We have money transferring shop. We got clothes in here. There's a coffee shop. Let's see if Advanced Mobility is in here. We got spices. Is Advanced Mobility here?
You know 224? I don't think you guys are allowed to record it.
Do you know where Advanced Suite 224? Do you guys know where Advanced Mobility is? Do you guys know where Advanced Mobility is?
Advanced Mobility?
Yeah, we're looking for it. Never heard of it?
What is this? What is that?
Oh, my name's Nick Shirley. We're just looking for Advanced Mobility.
Hey,
Where's Advanced Mobility at?
we don't care about Advanced Mobility.
That's what we're asking for. All right, we're looking for Advanced Mobility. Nobody can help us right now. We got a whole group of people trying to get us out of here. We're looking for Advanced Mobility.
We don't care about
Advanced Mobility doesn't exist.
Get the f*** out of here, man. Get out. You need to get out. You need to get out. Get out.
Now they're pushing us out of here.
Get out.
Where's Advanced Mobility at?
We don't care about Advanced Mobility.
That's what we're asking for.
Get out. Get out.
Would you like to give a statement on where Advanced Mobility is?
No, go ahead. Get out. We don't care.
So Advanced Mobility is not anywhere here. We're leaving, sir. Would you like to give a statement on what's happening here in Minnesota?
You make stuff up. This is a lie. I don't care. Who do you work for? Who do you work for? No, who do you work for? Nick Shirley. Who do you work for?
This is Nick Shirley, sir.
I don't care about Nick Shirley. That's you.
Yes, sir.
But who do you work for?
For Nick Shirley.
I don't care about Nick Shirley.
That's who he's working for today, Nick Shirley.
This is for the
We
state
don't
of
care. We don't care
Minnesota.
about that. Get out of here.
And see, you guys say I can't film, but look at you guys filming. You can do that. You can film here. Advanced Mobility doesn't exist.
Well, so what was interesting was we walked in there, and on the state's website, it says it's in Suite 224, but it's a one-story building. None of the suites had the number 2 on them. It doesn't exist. And it's been registered since 1999, and it doesn't exist.
All right, next location. David, where are we at?
We're at what's called Ray's, R-A-Y-Z Transportation, LLC.
And this is Ray's Transportation. We're on a street. There's no parking lot for any transportation vehicles. We'll see what happens. This is the address for Ray's Transportation. Let's see if anybody is here. Is Ray's Transportation here, sir?
I don't know. Transportation place. There's no transportation places here.
Oh, okay, well.
It's just
Healthcare places.
R-A-Y-Z.
Well, I think it's confirmed they're not here, David. So it's confirmed that Ray Transportation, all of these transportation companies, they're kind of like ghost companies. They exist on paper, but they don't actually exist in person. Would you like to see anybody in the government here held accountable?
Most definitely, because there can definitely be an allocation of funds.
And what's your message to Tim Walz?
Make a change. Make a change, because there's definitely, even when it comes down to like the kids and stuff, there's definitely stuff that like we need spaces for the things that are going on that they're not doing. We need these type of spaces for it. This is some crazy stuff. But I'm glad that you bring a light to it. It is a crazy, interesting situation.
Hey. Keep the false narrative that you be going on is a nonsense.
You should get in your car because
you should not be doing that, right? You are creating misinformation. It's not fair for the American people to be doing that. It's not fair. It's not fair what you mean. You cannot be doing that. You're not being fair.
How?
This country is built on fairness. You're not being fair. You cannot come into the community and be doing that.
So we shouldn't allow fraud to be happening, right?
System do its job.
Well, it's failed.
We got a governor, we got an attorney general. Let them do the job. You're not in a position to do the job. You're not a prosecutor. If you want to run for office, go ahead, run for office. But you cannot be doing this. This is misinformation. This is information.
How is it misinformation, sir? It's from the
This is what you're doing.
state
You're
of
coming
Minnesota.
You're coming everywhere. Where you coming from?
You see what I mean? We're talking about the facts that's happening here.
You can't. It's Southside. It's my turf. Get it.
Sir, so we were just having a civil conversation. That guy hopped out of his car in the middle of the road. In the middle of the road about the fraud that's happening. And he's saying that I'm the bad guy for showing light of what's happening here.
They're passionate. They're passionate people. They don't want this type of stuff either going on or be brought to light. So that's what they're going to do. They're going to it's a very tight-knit community.
You saw it firsthand how crazy it gets out here. He hopped out in the middle of the intersection.
Yeah, I'll say.
So this isn't about race. You're a black guy. They're black, right? We don't have no ill feelings towards you by any means. We're talking about the fraud that's happening. So God bless you, sir. Thank you very much. Why are we doing this?
So we're doing this, A, because it's the right thing to do. The people of Minnesota and the people of America want this done. Fraud is fraud. And when we try and talk with these people and say, look, the main reason we're doing this is to find out why are all these checks being written by the state of Minnesota for companies that don't even exist. That's what we're trying to figure out. It's not a race issue, it's a fraud issue, and fraud is fraud.
And so what most people don't understand about this fraud is it is literally in the entire state of Minnesota. It's not just in one part of Minneapolis.
Right, and so I think what happens is the people in the suburbs of Minneapolis and St. Paul, they get lulled into a false sense of security because they say, oh, that's in Minneapolis, it doesn't affect us, or that's in St. Paul. And we're showing that this fraud spreads throughout the entire state of Minnesota, including all of the suburbs, and we're going to bring to light exactly what's going on in those respective suburbs.
And so what's happening in this suburb of St. Louis Park?
Well, this is one of the Somali NEMT, non-emergency medical transportation companies that's registered with the state of Minnesota in St. Louis Park, and so let's see if this one actually exists.
This is the location of Crescent Transportation. We have no vans outside right now. Does not look like any vans are outside. Let's go inside, see if Crescent Transportation exists. Here we are, and it's an apartment complex. There's no signage of any Crescent Transportation Company. Once again, another fraudulent business where they don't even have a storefront to show where they're at. This is an apartment complex. So this is an apartment complex right here?
Yeah.
And have you ever seen Crescent Transportation out here?
Nope.
And what do you think about the fraud taking place here in Minnesota?
Huh? I'm a taxpayer. I don't like it.
What's your message to all the fraudsters?
Huh? Prosecute their ass. Take them to jail.
And how do you feel knowing that, for instance, right here, a transportation company that receives money from the government is not even here? It's the apartment complex.
I can say I don't like it. I'm a taxpayer. I work hard for my money. People out here fraud, they should go to jail.
And should Tim Walz go to jail?
Oh, he cricket too, huh? All them cricket, all the politicians. My daddy ain't never liked none of them.
So that man right there just confirmed that this is an apartment complex.
Right, and so the cities have specific rules governing operating businesses out of apartments. They do not allow transportation companies to park vehicles in an apartment parking lot. None of the cities in the Twin Cities allow that.
Because even if you were to be running a transportation company out of your apartment, there's nowhere to park the cars.
Well, where are they?
What's up, y'all? I'm Person Miller Master P, and I want to tell y'all, social media, physical products, digital products, it's the way of the future. If you want to grow your business,
apartment, there's nowhere to park the cars.
Well, where are they? There aren't any. Crescent, I don't see anything with Crescent on it anywhere.
More fraud taking place here.
So this is called Hopkins Child Care Center. This facility is licensed to hold 118 children, so this should be a really big facility. And this year alone, they have received $2.25 million from the state of Minnesota, and last year they received $1.92 million from the state of Minnesota. And this facility in the past 5 years has been in the top 10 for the most money received from the state of Minnesota.
So there should be plenty of children. There should be footprints of children walking in and out.
This should be a very busy place, yes.
So this right here is Hopkins Child Care Center. They're receiving over $2 million a year. All of the windows are completely blacked out. You can't even get in. And for a place that's supposed to have over 100 children, there's no footprints anywhere going into the store. And it's locked. Midday right now. This is the back side of the daycare. Ringing the doorbell right now. See if anybody comes. Hello, sir. How are you doing? How are you doing? Yes, sir.
Get out.
Okay, listen.
Get out. This is our business. What are you looking for?
We don't care what you do on the
parking lot. Go this side. This private.
I can be here in the parking lot.
No. You don't be here.
Wait, can we ask you about the daycare? It's all right. It's all right. Can we ask you about the daycare?
No. I don't care, Ken.
Sir, I'm not racist.
You have to live here.
I'm asking
No. You don't ask me nothing.
$2.25 million.
Get out, you guys. Get out.
$2.5 million.
Get out. This is a business. Get out. Hey, get out. What are you looking for?
We're asking. We just want to
get out.
We just want to ask you about $2.25 million.
Get out. You say get out. Get out, guys. Get out. You cannot do that. Get out. No, you cannot. You cannot do that.
Where?
Get out.
This is.
Get out. No. Get lost. Get out. No.
Sir.
You have to get out. This is our property. Get out.
Why? Can I ask you about the daycare? I have the paperwork right here.
Get out.
What's the need for $2.25 million for a daycare?
Get out.
Can you answer the question?
Get out. No, I don't ask you any question.
You can't.
Get out.
You can't answer the question.
Get out. No. What are you? Who are you?
My name's Nick Shirley.
No, I don't give a shit. Get out.
Could you answer the question?
No, I don't.
What's the need for $2.25 million for a daycare?
No. $1 million. I don't worry about it. Get out.
Okay.
Get out.
And it's licensed for 118 children, but I don't see any footprints of any children here. I don't see any footprints of any children here.
Get out. Get out. Guys, get out.
No, I'm
asking nothing, man.
I'm just asking you about what we're seeing here.
No, get out. Get out our business. Get out.
Sir,
this is my property.
You have millions of people watching right now. Can you say what's the need for $2.25 million? And where are the 118 children?
Get out.
Sir, I'm just asking a simple question.
Get out. No, you don't ask me any question. Get out.
You have the opportunity to answer the question.
No. You can't ask me nothing. Get out. Get out our business, man. Get out. Get out, man. Get out.
Sir,
get out.
Just answer the question.
No.
Just answer
Get
the
out.
question.
No, get out. Leave.
Sir, just answer the simple question.
Hey, don't touch me. You touch me. You YouTube, man. Get out.
All right, code word has been given. We're out.
Get out.
All right, we got to get out of here.
Get out.
Sir, just answer the question. Where are the children? No footprints of any children around here. No footprints of any children. They can't even answer the question. We gave them so many opportunities. We gave them plenty of opportunities. Just answer some simple questions. Millions of people are watching right now.
They came out with guns blazing. All we want to know is where are the children? 118 children, no footprints in the snow. All of their vehicles were sitting there with 2 feet of snow on them. They haven't moved in months.
The windows are all blacked out.
Yeah.
It's the same thing at all these daycares. 4 men came out. Yet they couldn't answer the simple question. We had it right here. 118 children. $2.25 million this year.
Welcome to Minnesota.
Now this daycare center, how much money has this one received?
So this child care center is called Proud Child Care Center, and it's in Eden Prairie, Minnesota, which is a very high income area. It's a further out suburb from Minneapolis, but there are a lot of multi-billion-dollar homes right in this neighborhood, and this child care got $1.25 million in funding in fiscal year 2025. It got $1.08 million last year. It opened in 2021. Let's go see if we can find any kids.
There should be at least 40 children here. Looking at the snow prints, does not look like there's any snow prints of any young children. And all of these windows are completely blacked out. Let's see if we could just talk to somebody. Could I enroll my son Joey into daycare here? Well, do you have the paperwork where I can enroll a child? Oh, my name's Nick Shirley. I was wondering if I could enroll a child. I have a son named Joey. My name's Nick Shirley. Yeah, I'm just coming out and seeing if I can enroll my child, Joey. We just want to get a statement as to why this daycare needs $1.26 million, and if it's even possible to enroll somebody like my child, my imaginary child, Joey. No, you guys can't give a clear statement, or could you even give me a paper to enroll a child into the daycare? Just to show that you guys are a legit business. It would debunk all claims if you could just give me a piece of paper saying where to enroll a child. You can't do that. Okay, well, thank you very much. And I hope this place actually is holding 47 children, because you guys are receiving $1.26 million in this year alone. So have a great rest of your day. They won't even give us a paper to enroll a child. Could have debunked all their claims. They can't even do it. One of the big talks about the fraud is about Quality Leering Center. It's a daycare that has received $1.9 million. It's licensed for over 99 children. And instead of quality learning, it says quality leering outside. But the big controversy about the Quality Leering Center is that Somalians, after the video went live, they all of a sudden started shuffling children into the daycare. But at the same time, the Commissioner of Children of Minnesota was on a live stream saying they had closed the daycare a week ago.
Quality Learning Center closed just over a week ago.
How much money has this place all received? And what's...
So this is the one that's licensed for 99 children. This fiscal year, they've received 1.9 million, and in fiscal year 2024, they had received about 2.2 million, so about 4 million in the last 2 fiscal years.
We're up in the Quality Leering Center, 1-800-FRAUD, as now it had been confirmed that this place was closed down, and now they're shuffling children into the daycare.
So Tiki Brown said this facility was closed.
She said a week ago.
And now magically it's full of cars. So how can it be closed if people are coming and going?
Rod, why do you have everybody here?
Yeah. Okay, this is the owner right here.
They can record. We just need to
So you guys can record. So how come they said this building was closed? We're trying to speak to the owner. They won't even answer a simple question. Look, now he's going inside.
Sir, don't run though. It looks suspicious when you run, brother. And you can smile, but bro.
Sir, I'm right here.
He's right here to speak to you.
I'm right here.
Don't do that. Oh,
you can't defend the fraud.
Oh, come on, at the daycare doing. Hey, not at the daycare doing the middle finger though.
We have like 100 cameras on it. Now, both of these people have interesting ties with politicians inside of Minnesota. For instance, the man who's running the daycare, he was celebrating with Mayor Fry after he won re-election of mayor inside of Minneapolis. And then this lady right here seems to be a friend of Ilhan Omar, as she has photos with her outside of the restaurant. And she also has videos of her giving a tour to a separate daycare to Mayor Fry. It really makes you wonder why these politicians haven't fought against the fraud, knowing that it's happening in locations like the Quality Leering Center. Meanwhile, they're taking photos and celebrating with them at events. What's your message to people about the fraud here in Minnesota?
This is part of the cover-up. They're trying to cover their tracks. So let me say this on camera. If you can prove that any of the information that I have here is false, I'll give you $100,000 cash.
Okay.
If any of it's false or inaccurate in any way, anybody want to take me up? And if you can't prove it, you have to give me $100.
So you saying all that's real?
100%. I'll give you $100,000 if you can disprove my information.
See, they all went silent. Silent.
Anybody? Your $100 versus my $100,000 cash.
They're all silent. What do you think about the fraud here?
Hey, the fraud here in Minnesota, I go lie, is crazy. Like, what do you mean specifically? What do you mean?
Yeah, how do you feel about this daycare, for instance, receiving $1.9 million? And they couldn't even spell learning right. They spelled leering.
Hey, man, Somalis, they're an interesting creature. I'm not gonna lie, I can't say too much. I'm already too hot, but
if you're a busy professional with great income, good credit, and cash just sitting in the bank, but no time to hunt, underwrite, manage real estate deals yourself, pay attention for the next minute. I'm Mark Shapiro. Over the last few decades, I've been involved in nearly $5 billion of real estate transactions. And what I keep seeing over and over is the same problem. Smart professionals wanting cash flowing real estate, but they're stuck between two bad options. First option is hand their money to a fund and hope it performs. And the second option is do it yourself, spend nights on Zillow, bigger pockets, talking with brokers, and still ending up with a mediocre deal or nothing at all. So I built something different. My team and I professionally source, analyze, and structure cash flowing deals with you with the goal of getting you into a property that's putting money in your pocket in 120 days or less. You're not buying a course, you're not buying a Facebook group. This is done with you acquisition process. We find markets, assets that fit your goals, underwrite the numbers, and stress test the deals. Help you negotiate and structure the purchase, and stay with you through closing and consistent cash flow. You keep ownership and control. You get our track record and systems. This is not for people trying to wholesale their way out of debt or buying real estate with no money and bad credit. It is for the mid to high income professionals who have serious capital to deploy and want their first or next cash flowing deal done the right way. If that's you, here's what to do. Click the link below. I will take you through a short training where I walk you through the full process, show you real deal examples, and explain who this is for and who it isn't for. At the end, if it makes sense, you can apply to work with me and my team. If you've been thinking about real estate for years, this is your chance to finally get a real cash flowing asset on the board. Click the link, watch the training, and I'll see you there.
42 years old now. For the last 10 years, I've been getting paid $10,000, $15,000, or $25,000 for one keynote talk that I've performed in Italy, Spain, Portugal, Malta, Costa Rica, Canada, Germany, and I've spoken in universities like Harvard, Princeton, NYU, Cornell, and cool companies like Disney, Lululemon, KPMG, Morgan Stanley, and this is all just one talk. You know what? I'm not that good of a public speaker. I barely graduated high school. I have no post-secondary education. I didn't have great contacts, and to be honest, I hate networking. Always have. But I do have the one thing that speaker bookers are looking for. And because I have this one thing, if I'm in the running for a speaker slot, no matter who I'm competing with, I'm getting that spot every time. Because of one talk that I did over 13 years ago on the TEDx stage. And because my TEDx talk doesn't just share an idea, it makes a real life impact. My TEDx talk resulted in funding schools and houses for over 250,000 people. And that was not by accident. I was executing a strategy that I'm going to show you right now. It's the strategy that I put into motion when my TEDx talk came out and it got 1,000 views, then 5,000 views, then 10,000 views, and that's when.
Now by show of screams, who here is at their very first SWE Day?
Taylor Conroy is the guest, and he was a successful Victoria real estate agent, but he gave up that comfortable lifestyle, hoping to make a difference in the lives of people all over the world.
Speaking gigs started rolling in. Hey, can you come and speak at the United Nations at Harvard, Princeton, Cornell, Disney, KPMG, Morgan Stanley, Pfizer, Lululemon, you name it, all booking me for speaking gigs because I did a TEDx talk. So I thought to myself, wow, if it worked this much for me, I bet it would work for other people too. Like this guy, Kevin, was the first person I ever helped to get on that stage, helped him title his talk, helped him prep for it, helped him land it.
Thank you guys so much. This is a dream come true. Thank you.
That talk got over 4 million views and led to him getting 300 paid speaking gigs all over the world. Or this incredible mother of four, Katie, who started a company called Kitchen Stewardship.
I mean, Tim Waltz, you gotta solve this stuff. Minnesota really cracked down on this because they've been doing this for years. So
should Tim Waltz be prosecuted?
Hell yeah.
And at this point, you're probably wondering where all the millions and billions of dollars has gone. Well, it's been well tracked that a lot of the money, millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, has been funneled through TSA at the airport inside of Minnesota. It's been well tracked and documented. Even in 2017, there was reports coming from the local Fox News station, and I was actually able to meet up with a whistleblower who used to work as an agent at TSA on the side of narcotics, and he saw millions of dollars go through TSA. And what kind of fraud did you see take place here in Minnesota?
So I worked for the airport police for 31 years. 24 of those years I worked in narcotics at MSP Airport. And my recollection was from about 2015-16 to 2021 when I retired. I would get emails from our dispatch
saying like 2 male Somali descent individuals. They would give us their names. They claimed the cash, that they had a large amount of cash at the checkpoints. We'd get all this information in an email, and it would, I believe they would send it right away. So TSA would contact our dispatch telling us this, then our dispatch would relay the info via email to us.
And how much was the money?
The money, the smallest amount in a suitcase that I heard was like $750,000. But generally, it was anywhere from $1 million to $6 million in a suitcase. And there usually was, as far as I can remember, there was always 2 individuals traveling. So you would have maybe one guy with 2.2 million and another guy with 3 million. And
at airports, you're able to take $10,000 without declaring it. How are these guys able to take millions of dollars?
Because as far as I know, as long as they declared it, they were fine. So then TSA would contact HSI and Customs, and I'm sure they got the information. We got the information. My administration knew about it, and I trust that they sent that on to higher state officials on this, but nothing was ever done the whole time I was there. I talked to one individual. We were going after narcotic cash leaving the airport. This was always fraud. We had no nexus to that this cash was related to narcotics. So our hands were kind of tied. We couldn't do a whole lot.
How do you suspect these Somalians had millions of dollars to move in an airport?
We would rack our heads all the time, like, where are they getting this? Where in the world are they getting this money? And I had heard about these daycares and whatnot, but I mean, I thought at the time, okay, maybe they had 10 daycares, but apparently they have a lot more than that. We were all just racking our heads trying to figure this out.
So you openly saw just millions of dollars get moved through these airports?
I saw one time. I saw an open suitcase with the cash because we were looking into seeing if it was narcotics related, which it was not.
How much money do you think moved through the airport in your time?
Millions, literally millions and millions. I mean, we're talking for a good 5-6 years, you're talking, I don't know, 5 to 6 million a week. It would happen twice a week. You would get twice a week where there would be somebody flying, 2 people flying out with $1 to $2 to $3 to $4 or $5 million twice a week, every week, without fail.
And where were those people traveling to?
So this is the word I got, that they would fly to Atlanta, take a flight from Atlanta to Dubai, and then apparently what I had heard was it was too busy or too dangerous to go any further with it, so they'd wire the money to Somalia. Whether they scraped a whole bunch off the top and did that, I don't know.
Wow, so they take the money from Minnesota, take it to Atlanta, and then take it to Dubai, and then from Dubai they then wire the money.
Correct. I don't know that for sure, but that's what I was told by other investigators.
So all the taxpayers' dollars were getting funneled through the airports and then taken to Dubai to be sent to Somalia.
Yes. Yes. It appears that's how it all went down, yes.
Are there times when you would love to have another address or phone number to use instead of your home address and...
Yeah. Well, they said it appears that's how it all went down.
sensationalizing the propaganda?
What are we sensationalizing?
To attack our community.
The guy who caused this all to go sort of nuclear, of course, was Nick Shirley, who's just an independent creator. He's got a phone, and he's doing more good work than basically CBS, NBC, and ABC and CNN put together. Here he is back in Minnesota, and a Somali man approaches him and, of course, accuses him of Islamophobia because he was able to find out that children's daycare centers that didn't exist were getting millions of dollars, which somehow is Islamophobic.
I want to ask you.
Yes, sir.
Why are you sensationalizing the propaganda?
What are we sensationalizing?
To attack our community. What's your final objective?
We're not attacking your community by any means.
Are you making good money from this?
We're looking for fraud. Has nothing to do with race. This is fraud. It's fraud.
This absolutely has to do with us being Muslim?
No, it does not.
All right, and us being from Africa. This is a constitutional argument. If you don't want us here, change the freedom of religion. Even if it's 2,000 providers, you're going to sacrifice the safety of 80,000 people because of 2,000 providers? Are you mad?
It's about fraud, sir.
You sensationalize this. You son of a sensationalize this.
Wow, you're very...
I mean, what's the best way to do this? Who's anti-American there? Is it Nick Shirley, who's just going around to places and finding insane amounts of fraud, literally to the point that a man who was going to be vice president right now is not even going to run for governor anymore of the state of Minnesota? Who is more anti-American? Is it that guy, Nick Shirley, who's just out there doing what journalists used to do, right? I'm not a journalist. I always say that. You know, people always call me a journalist. I'm not a journalist. I'm telling you what I think. I translate some of the nonsense, hopefully in a somewhat fun way, and I communicate the news to you guys. But all of these people that sit at desks are not journalists. The journalists are the ones who are out there on the street figuring out what's going on, and then other people can comment on it, right? Nick Shirley's an actual journalist. There's almost none left. I would say Andy No is an actual journalist. That girl, Allison Steinberg, she seems like a journalist. If you're out there getting information from the direct sources, doing the work, as the Democrats always say, then you're a journalist. So who's anti-American? Is it Nick Shirley who's finding out that there is a massive $1 billion plus money laundering scheme that largely is connected to the Somali community in Minnesota? Or is it that guy? Or is it that guy who's getting in his face and screaming at him and calling him Islamophobic? This has nothing to do with Islam. The implication would be that if Nick Shirley found out that there was let's say a white Christian community somewhere in Utah that was laundering hundreds of millions and billions of dollars, that he wouldn't be covering it. And that is completely absurd. And I assure you that if there is such a thing, and we might find out that there is, I have a feeling that there's all sorts of slush funds and money laundering things going through all sorts of communities, I'll cover it too.
It does deep cleaning and leaves no residue. This has been my experience too. I didn't realize how unclean my dentures felt before this. The first time I used the dental dome, I was shocked. No residue.
Can you play this one clip of the guy in Germany I just sent you? I don't know if you guys seen this clip or not of this guy in Germany walking around upset at people saying, you can't record me. He says, who the hell are you? It's my country. Who are you? You don't tell me we're not. Just kind of, whoa, who is this guy? Got like 20 million views on this one clip. Look at the level of audacity people are having now coming to other people's country in Germany telling them you don't record me. Who the hell are you to tell me this? This is what we're fighting with next. And by the way, I think this is what's going to produce the most bold, proud, American, tough, strong, faith-based people that are going to fear. I think this is what's coming next. Rob, go on and play this. Watch this clip, folks.
What's up? You okay? Fine. Yeah, good. What? I will video whatever I want in my country, okay? You don't tell me.
This is German.
Okay, cheeky, they think they can tell us. Alles gut, bei dir? No, it's okay. Thanks.
Try to sell them drugs?
You just try to offer me speed on camera. Man. The brass neck on these people telling a German what he can and can't do in his own country. I'm sick of it. I'm not having it, guys. and all the Germans,
watch this,
and all the police, and all the politicians know what's going on. They know that they're selling hard drugs here, not weed. They're selling crack and speed and heroin. And guess what? They're okay with it. They're so heavily indoctrinated. It is fine. It's normal. You have to understand. They come from a hard background. You know, they also need to make a living somehow. Just everything about it. Everything about this city is just fucked.
By the way, he
the
believes
locals, the
everything
natives
until
are
now. He's
completely
like, why do
biased.
you believe everything else?
Brainwashed.
Okay, so you can pause it right. I got a bunch of these clips to show. I'm not going to show. We'll show it on Monday podcast. We got guests here today. But to me, I think the part Stephen A. is this next phase of tolerance of what's going to happen, like a Nick Shirley. We've known for God knows how long with the fraud that's going on in Minnesota. It takes a 23-year-old kid to take a camera and go to Minnesota to prove some of the stuff. And by the way, once they get exposed, the Leering Center turns into the Learning Center, right? Once he goes and exposed, now they're bringing kids in there. Now they're doing all this other stuff. And then, Rob, if you have that clip, so this lady who's up there is doing a press conference. She's reading off her phone, and she uses the words, fraud is bad. Look at her face. More importantly, when she lifts her left hand, I want you to look closely at that ring. I didn't even buy that big of a ring for my wife, and I have money. What kind of money does this lady have here? Just watch, pay attention to this. This is apparently somebody that's really struggling financially, that it's so harsh that we're exposing this stuff. Go ahead and play this clip.
If childcare is cut, I'm unable to work or go to school. I understand. Fraud is bad.
Watch. Whoops. I shouldn't have said that. Look at the ring. It's about to come up in 3 seconds. Boom. Damn! She can't even talk anymore.
She didn't even hide. Fraud is bad. So meaning she admitted to fraud.
She admitted that
she
they're
knows
committing
it's bad.
fraud.
She
And
knows
then
the
there's
fraud
this
is
other
bad.
guy, Rob, if you want to play the other clip of the guy with the $2,400 glasses being a
Oh, it's my
spokesperson
favorite.
for them.
With a brand new fitted.
Yeah, watch this one here. So here's another one with the Yankees.
Clean
hat. Go ahead.
fitted.
Yesterday morning, I was called by the owner because
look at the lady in the back.
unfortunately
She's
someone came in to our daycare.
Watch her face.
We looked and saw what happened, and we saw that the suspect came in from the back, broke in from the back kitchen, and he also destroyed the wall to come in. As we walked around the daycare, we saw that our office doors was broken into as well. We saw that, unfortunately, we saw that there was important documentation, enrollment of the children, and also employee documentation that was gone. There were also checkbooks that were ripped from our check papers that were ripped from our book. This is devastating news, and we don't know why this is targeting our Somali community, as one video made by a specific individual made this all happen. We've been receiving hateful messages through our voice notes threatening us for the past couple of days, including one that happened yesterday morning when the break-in, after the break-in.
Stop it. You can pause it.
How much are those? You know how much the glasses are?
What?
Rob, how much are those glasses?
$2,500.
$2,500 glasses.
The average person has $2,500 glasses.
Yeah.
Not a big deal. Everybody has it.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, by the way, while this is going on, here's and I want to come open-ended to Stephen A., Danny Cannell. Caroline Levitt says Minnesota Somali fraud scandal will leave people in handcuffs. If you haven't seen what Chamath said something very interesting earlier today. If you have this clip, Rob, he said if nobody gets arrested for this is Chamath. He said if nobody gets arrested for this, for the fraud, he says America's downfall is around the corner. If nobody gets arrested for this, I don't know if you see it, Rob, or not. And by the way, Chamath, if you know one thing about Chamath, I don't know if you follow him closely or not, he's a very reasonable guy. He's a very fair guy. My hope is he runs for governor one day. Like, he's a guy that could save California. He's a reasonable guy, made a lot of money, is a center-ish guy. And if you go a little bit lower to see if you can find that clip, well, I'll find it here oh, there it is. Watch this. Go ahead.
Happens and we deem this kind of theft acceptable, it is the beginning of the end of the American empire. It's just a level of disrespect and lack of care for this country, I think. I will be waiting and observing how important it is to root this out. That's number one. Second, which is more tactical political calculus, this is an enormous opportunity for the Republican Party if they take this and run with this. Is there waste, fraud, and abuse in every state? Absolutely.
You can
I
pause
don't
right
think
there.
this is.
Tom, I'm coming to you first. Do you agree with them that if nothing happens, the American people are no longer going to trust the justice system that we have?
Yes, you've got big goals for your life, but the path to get there is feeling kind of fuzzy, right? Here's something nobody's really talking about, okay? And I'm sorry to break it to you, but there is no single best way to make money. So some people build, some people sell.
Yes, and I think you already see it in the polls that say that the faith in Congress by the American people going back 25 years has been below 20%. What is it right now, 14%? It's like incredibly low. The faith they have in the media, never mind that. Let's just think about our institutions. There are two things that Americans are really hot at when you look at the polling figures. What you do when you look at polling, you can look at the heat behind an opinion of the populace. And right now, there are two underlying drivers behind questions for Americans. One is there's a two-level justice system, one for me and one for some other side. And the second is government isn't going to do anything about it. Those two things are underneath the American opinion on Epstein, the American opinion on the fraud right here. Americans believe there's a two-level justice system. Americans believe that government isn't going to do anything about it. Chamath is right. When we see, look how big this became, not just Minnesota. It became Washington State and the Somalis there. Now forget about the Somalis and look at just daycare and finding out that if you create a public assistance program, you can get money from the government, take that money, and then spend it on other things, and by the way, give it back to other candidates. We've discovered there's a cycle. And so what we're seeing isn't just Minnesota. People are like, wait a minute, the whole system is rigged. And the Americans are really hot, and they are not of the mood right now to once again somehow say, well, there they go again. Americans are hot. They think nothing's going to happen, and there's a two-level justice system, and it's gotten worse and worse and worse. And those two things outweigh all of the core issues. Those are the beliefs that Americans have in the corruption of the system. If nothing happens here to prove it's wrong, Chamath is right.
Danny, where are you at with this, Danny?
I hope you're right, but did anybody go to jail for the 2008 financial crisis? Did anybody
I think one guy got, no, seriously, one Middle Eastern guy got arrested.
Middle Eastern.
Yeah, great.
Did anybody go to jail for COVID fraud with the PPP funding?
Nope, they all got pardoned.
You know, like, so that's where I'm kind of like, I would love to see somebody held accountable for one of these. But as far as this would be America's downfall, we've survived a lot worse, and I think we can survive this. The thing that concerns me, and your conversation with Nick Shirley was incredible, was I think this is just the tip of the iceberg. When they either go further down the road in Minnesota, or you had the lady on from Ohio was like, please come look at our fraud that's happening here. Wait till we start seeing it all over the place. I think we're just at the tip of the iceberg. But I would agree. I would like to see somebody in handcuffs. I would like to see somebody held accountable. But I feel like most Americans are kind of just like, I'm not going to believe it until I see it.
Well, in the past 2 years, $35 million of the money that was frauded out from those daycares in Minnesota, in the past 2 years was given to political contributions, and Rob has it right there. And that's, guys, this is such on a deep level. Like, if you guys ever think everything's happening in Minnesota, all these problems are Minnesota, and me and Tom were talking about it while we were in Aspen. I was like, wait a minute, why of all people they pick Tim Walz? Why? Nobody in here ever heard of Tim Walz? And then all of a sudden, Kamala's running, and it's like, wait a minute, maybe they were going to funnel all that money, bring his, tampon in the bathroom, loving ass, put him in, and then have all that money funneled in there. But then I thought about this. There's another. I want to ask you guys. You can't blame the Somali. I don't blame them. They're coming from a third world country. piracy and all that stuff is happening on the freaking waters. What? They are incentivized to come here. The Democratic Party is like, hey, come here, border wide open. If the government tries to put barbed wire, we're going to send in and we're going to pick it up. Bring your asses in here, vote for us, no IDs, scam, but just keep the money coming back. You can wear $2,800 glasses and you can wear a freaking Hope Diamond on your finger. Everything leads back to the Democrats. And I get what Stephen was saying about affordability and all that, but guess what? This is a $18 trillion problem. And you know what I read, Pat? And this is what I'm getting sick and tired of, is this. It's just our lip service at Americans. How much more do we need to see? And do we have to, till we say enough is enough? I mean, collectively, we're the dominant force. In the Declaration of Independence, it says this: when the government gets tyrannical and starts acting up, whenever any form of government becomes destructive of those ends, it is the right and the obligation, not guess, of the people to alter or abolish it and to institute a new government. At what point are we're just sitting here, they're stealing billions, they're open the border, our young kids are getting raped, they're getting murdered, crime is up, and all we do is bark, 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 and they're gonna put in another. Gavin Newsom is the front runner for presidency. Are we? And they're gonna do the same thing. And I'll bet anybody in here $100,000. His first order of business, open the border. Open the border, and the same problems are gonna keep coming. Okay, so it's up to us, Pat. It's the American people, we have to just say, guys, no. You know, stand together and just say, we're not going to pay taxes for a freaking month. We're not doing shit. We're going to sit here and do this. Let me future looks bright under my feet. That's what we're going to do.
By the way, out of everything you said, you know what I caught?
What?
When 3 years ago Vinny came here, he was making $50 bets. Vinny's not making $100,000 bets. Holy shit, Vinny.
That's true.
Make some noise for Vinny, folks. He's making bigger bets.
Yeah. By the way, I don't know. Certain times I'll mess with Vinny when that right vein pops out. No. I know he means business.
But Adam, honestly, how much longer are we going to go? Yeah. Oh, they just stole another $18 billion.
By the way,
they opened the border again. How much more?
You know what is interesting? There has never been this much. Trump at his New Year's Eve party, he said, we're going to hold a lot of people accountable. We're going to arrest a lot of people, all this other stuff. His own son said, people better start getting arrested.
I love that.
And everybody commented that said, bro, your dad's the president.
Give
him a call.
Yeah.
Stephen A.
I'm going to let Adam go first.
Adam, go ahead.
All I want to say, my mom is from Minnesota. Every summer of my life I'd spend in Minnesota. Minnesota's like the whitest state in America. I would show up. I'm white as hell, and I know a few words in Spanish. Are like, oh, this guy's exotic as hell. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Welcome to Minnesota. So I would see this immigration issue. I thought it was an immigration issue. What? Somalians? What's going on here? So what are they doing here? But the reason that Americans are pissed, it's not only the immigration, it's not only the Islamism, it's not the poo-pooing of American values. Now you're going to throw fraud on there? Billions of dollars of fraud? Americans like, nah, hell to the nah. So I thought it was immigration. It's actually fraud. What's going to actually happen? You talk about accountability.
Nothing.
The difference between accountability is they're playing the victim. Oh my God. And then they catch themselves. So there's going to be some accountability there.
Stephen A.
There needs to be accountability. You don't do something like that and get away with it. And obviously anybody that's been involved in such heinous, irreparable acts should be arrested and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Let me get that out the way first. That's automatic, okay? But getting back to Vinny, see, here's where the problem lies. Them. It's all of them. Are we going to sit here with a straight face and act like the Democrats are the only one that engage in fraudulent behavior? That they're the only one that have milked government dollars for their own selfish needs and to their own selfish ends? The point is that I often joke about it. I'm friends with Sean Hannity. We go back and forth, butt heads all the time, but I've known this man for 23 years, and he's a good friend. He really, really is. And I've often said this. Somebody could go out in broad daylight who is conservative and commit murder at 3 o'clock in the sunny afternoon with cloudless skies on a sunshiny day. And the first words that'll come out of Sean Hannity's mouth is the Democrats did it first. And he'll have evidence of those Democrats who did it. And what I'm saying is along the way, there have been excuses, there have been justifications, rationales that have been thrown out there to absolve one side. We're not going to get back to prospering as a country until we remember the very, very values that we swear to live on and to hold all sides equally accountable. So I'm not saying let any Democrat off the hook that could be found guilty of such heinous acts. I'm saying you got to make sure that the due diligence, the fervor, the passion, the same energy applies across the board to all parties concerned, because the standard is the standard, as Mike Tomlin, the coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, would say. The standard.
You said
is
some
the
things
standard.
about him recently, by the way.
Yes, I did. But the standard is the standard. And as long as we're making sure that as a nation, we're equally distributing that level of punishment, then we're good.
I agree.
Hold on. I disagree.
No, wait.
I'll tell you, he's mostly right. Because if you remember, George W. Bush, he was the worst president we've seen by far, maybe under Biden. But in recent memory, the Biden administration was a disaster. So if you want to talk recent memory, you're 1,000,000% right. But there's major problems in this country. Both sides are to blame. But recently, it's been a Democratic problem. That's
Adam, you took the words out of my mouth, because I was in the United States Air Force, Stephen, during 9/11, and I remember when Bush Jr. got on that aircraft carrier, and it was America, and dude, I cried. We were emotional, and it was that attitude.
Mission accomplished.
It was
100-hour war.
Yeah, let's go, bro. 9/11, New York. Let's go. War. And then they're like, wait, and mind you, I'm in the military, and I'm not Republican, Democrat. I register. I just vote for what's right in the moment. And then I was like, wait a minute, weapons of mass destruction. Wait, there's no weapons of mass destruction. Wait a minute. We just killed 1 million people. What? No, we're just gonna change the name to Enduring Freedom. Trust me, bro. I had the hate and the anger towards the Republican Party still to this day. I think George Bush Jr. deserved to be in prison. We saw Cheney, Rumsfeld, all those guys deserve war crimes. If they're dead, I pray that they got right with God before they died. But Adam made a great point. From what I've seen from Biden and all, it's just right now they're not even hiding anymore. It's out in the open. They don't care. Hold everybody accountable. But in my lifetime, from what I'm seeing, like if we keep this up, it's a wrap. And now that we're slowly, look at Texas. It's starting to spread. New York. If you, like you said, if you told me New York was going to go with this guy 10 years ago, I would have said there's absolutely no way. So the change is happening. But I'm telling you, Stephen, in my heart of hearts, bro, it's us. It's Americans have to stop and say, no, enough is enough. We're like, well, we hope they arrest him. No, the hell with that. They better arrest him, or we have to go do something. Seriously,
for me, Stephen A., here's how simple it is for me. I'm in a meeting with this guy who was the number 2 guy at AIG. Jennifer's in a meeting. He's flying in with his lawyer from AIG to drop our contract. Because at an event in Napa Valley, when we went, Tico was only 6 months old. Tico, that was the first time I actually spent time with you, buddy. You don't even know it. I was changing your diapers nonstop, and I was working 100 hours a week, so I finally got some time with you at Napa. They went baking. Mommy and Papa went, and I stayed back. So they come back, and my wife and my dad are arguing in the living room of the hotel in Napa Valley. And he's saying, don't tell him. And my wife is saying, I have to tell him. It's Pat. He's going to get very upset if I don't tell him. No, dude, don't tell him. So apparently this guy was a number 2 guy at AIG during the baking experience. He asks my wife, do you trust Armenians? And my wife's like, what do you mean do I trust Armenians? Do you know my husband is half Armenian, half Assyrian? He says, yeah, but do you trust Armenians because of the insurance fraud that they do? So she's like, what is wrong with this guy? She's telling me this. She says, I have to tell him. So finally, after they argue, my dad is in the room. He remembers this argument as well. Dad, where are you? Do you remember that day? Do you remember it or no? You and Jennifer going back. Jen, you definitely remember that day. Tico, you definitely don't remember that day. You were 6 months old. So then Jen comes and tells me. I said, what did he say? Babe, don't do anything right now. Just please, dude, when we get back home. I said, he said that to you? He said that to you? Yeah, okay. I made 2 phone calls. Those guys know who they are. And they said, he's coming, Pat, don't call him. I said, that's not how I do things. He's coming to my office. So he comes to my office. Her, Maral, Amor, all are telling me, Pat, say nothing, because if we lose the AIG contract, I don't have another contract. I lost every contract. It's like the first year in business, year and a half in business. He comes in, and I say, hey, John, before you get started, Let me start, because I think I have an idea why you're here. You brought him here because you're about to terminate our contract. Here's what I will tell you. Based on what everybody I'm talking to, you're thinking because I'm Armenian, I'm like all the other Armenians that you had some bad experience with in Glendale that did insurance fraud. If you do anything with me because I'm Armenian, you will have a problem for the rest of your life with me. I've served this country. I've been in the military. I busted my ass for America. I love this country. Don't think just because I'm everybody else is. Puts his hands like this. He says, I get your drift. You have 1 year. Gets up and walks out. No problem. He comes to our events. We end up becoming best friends at his retirement ceremony on a yacht in Miami. 10 years later, his closing speaker, 5 people spoke at his retirement ceremony after 39 years. Closing speaker is his best friend. Second closing speaker is me. And I got up and I just roasted the hell out of him in front of everybody, his wife, his family. We had a great time. We're very good friends today. No issues. But you know what? He was right. He was right. A lot of Medicare fraud in Glendale was Armenians. A lot of fraud that happened in North Hollywood and Van Nuys was Armenians. If we look at data today and we look at which ethnicity has the most abortions in America, it's African Americans. That's right. That's data. We can't say that's a racist comment. You just call that blacks to a black man whose mom raised him. That's an offensive comment. Patrick must be racist. No, it's called data. And I trust data. When I look at data for Minnesota and it shows me Somalians, after having lived in America for 10 years later, 78% are still on welfare. That's data. You can't call data racist. You can't call data Islamophobic. You can't call data bigot. You can't call data nothing. It's data. If you're doing it, and the fraud that's happening right now, censorship was Democratic Party. Keeping kids at home and not letting them go to school, Democratic Party. The NBA that you watched when they did the bubble, the NBA bubble, the fake championship that LeBron won, the last one, we all know he only has 3 championships. The fake NBA bubble that, no, he's got 4. I'm not counting the 4th one. I'm saying he's only got 3 because that doesn't count. In the bubble, do you know where the bubble was? While they were talking shit, Black Lives Matter, it's good, racism. All the stuff they said about racism and Black Lives Matter and irresponsible governors. The flipping NBA playoffs was in Florida. And all they did is call out DeSantis. Let me get this straight. You bitch about how California does everything right, yet you decide to put your playoffs in Orlando? I'm sorry. You're a hypocrite. And that's the NBA when they did that. We're watching NFL games with faces, and people are buying tickets on Zoom to have their faces being there. What the hell was that? We don't even know the ramifications of what happened to kids for the next 10, 20 years. We don't know that kind of ramification. Alcohol went up, abuse went up, domestic violence went up. It was horrible. So to me, listen, if it's the Republican Party, gladly call it out. If it's the Democratic Party, gladly call it out. What he's talking about right now is majority Democratic Party. Data doesn't lie. This is why, for me, all I'm interested in is data. There's a story that came out from BBC, and I'm going to give you this last thing here. Can you pull up this link I sent you? You tell me if this story is from somebody who's conservative or somebody that's liberal. This is the BBC. They tell this story, Rob. I send it to you. You should have it. It's the second to the last one I sent you. That says this 17-year-old Afghan. Listen to how BBC breaks this down, folks. I want to know how you feel about it. The BBC does an article. First, go outside so we can see the story of what it's saying. The BBC does an article. Matter of fact, just play the clip, Rob. Just play the clip. The BBC does an article. Look at the way they define 2 17-year-old Afghan males and how they define a 15-year-old female. I'm saying male and female, but look how BBC defines them. Go ahead.
Sort of main job at The Spectator, which is being the parliamentary sketch writer, we're there to satirise and observe. I'm often just amazed by the enormous, great fissure in what's being talked about in Parliament versus what people are talking about in day-to-day life, and also the big stories that don't really get coverage at all. Just in the last week, there have been various scandals involving young Afghan men either raping young girls in Britain, and these stories are either not being reported in a major way in, say, the BBC, or else the way they have been reported is in such a kind of psychopathic way. For example, 2 17-year-old Afghans are described as boys, but the 15-year-old girl that they raped is described as a woman. Is this sort of main...
Did you hear that? Let me read this to you. BBC does an article defining 2 17-year-old Afghan boys rape a 15-year-old woman. Is that a conservative saying that? Is that a Republican saying that? To me, the concern, and BBC, aren't they the same ones that try to manipulate the election of what happened with Trump to say the comments that he made that he didn't? So listen, hold the fire to any of the stuff that fraud they're doing if they're Republican or Democrat. But man, a lot of stuff, unfortunately, or fortunately, whatever way you want to put it, based on data, keeps happening on a side that just makes no sense. Your rebuttal.
There's no rebuttal. I don't disagree with what you said. Matter of fact, I was wondering why you looking at me while you said those things, because I'm sitting up there and I'm getting heat from my own community because I'm like, data's data. You know, I mean, I can't tell you how many times
I thought you were defending the Somalians in Minnesota.
I wasn't defending the Somalians. I said, get them. Let's just make sure that when we talk about fraud and when we talk about, you know, misbehavior, what have you, it's on both sides of the aisle. But there's no question about it. There's no getting around that. And like you said, I do like that point. It's simple yet profound. Data is data. It's not being racist to call out data. A matter of fact, you've got people in my own community against me because I'm reminding, it's data. What do you want? You got to give me something to fight. You got to give me something to argue about. And it can't just be executive orders that the president has handed down that we may not like. It can't be just him, you know, engaging in the kind of policy he promised folks he would do before getting elected and then keeping his word by doing it. And we're the ones that didn't want to vote for him. So don't expect him to do what we might want him to do when we're not the ones that voted for him. You got to know better than that. I pointed out all of these things. The flip side to that, however, is this. Stop looking at black folks like it's this one monolithic group. You see a dissipation kicking in, where the level of faith in the Democratic Party is shrinking before our very eyes, because you have a lot of black folks out there that feel the way that I feel. By that strong leaning towards the extreme left, you forgot about black folks in the process. The LGBTQ community, I'm a live and let live kind of guy. Live your life, no problem. You understand? I support you having your civil rights or whatever. I got a problem, though, if you want to transition from being a male to a female and you want to compete in female sports. I got a problem when you want to have, you know, when you want to engage in gender change and you're willing to condone it transpiring without parental consent. You know what I said on the air a couple of weeks ago? I said, forget all of this stuff for a second. Anybody who is a parent, tell me the human being that could come up to y'all and say, when it comes to your kid got a right to do what they want to do without consenting to you as their parent. Show me the parent that says, okay, who's that person? I've never met him, ever. So I'm like, how could y'all do that and think that's cool? See, common sense is what it comes down to. And when people look at me and they say, Stephen, we good, because I might disagree with you, but if you make a point, damn it, you made a point. Vinny, you made a point, damn it, you got me. Adam, you made a point, damn it, you got me. Danny, of course you got me. Right. But so do I. And my point is, at the end of the day, it's about common sense. And because why? Because that's where both sides can't escape from. You can try, but you can't run from common sense. And something as simple as the example that I just used, any parent, raise your hand if somebody can come to you about your child, telling you what your child can do without your consent. They're a child. You're paying their bills. You're taking care of them. You have dominion over them. Oh, but now you want to hold me accountable for that, but when it comes to something else, oh, okay, they got the right to do what they want to do without consulting you. To me, that's automatic disqualification for any politician that lets that come out of their mouth. And I've said so publicly, so I don't disagree with you.
If you make over $100,000 a year and you don't have an assistant, you're screwing up. You shouldn't be answering your email. You shouldn't be scheduling your calendar.
If you're running a business, you need a real human assistant, a magic assistant.
These assistants are the best of the best, highly vetted, top 1% of applicants, proactive. She did research on Hawaii Airbnbs for me. She helped me analyze products on Amazon.
She handles my company's bookkeeping. She even finds new investors for my business.
My assistant reaches out to me every day saying like, hey, how can I help you?
I raise money.
For what it's worth, can we all agree? Like Stephen A. looks like he should be in the next Miami Vice. Be honest. Like that's,
I think so.
You know what?
Honestly,
You'd be
that's
right.
ridiculous.
You'd be
I'm
right if
sitting
I had
here,
on my whites.
I'm just kind of
If I had
going
on my
like
whites.
this. I'm like, all right, but he looks like Miami
He
Vice.
looks like he's a Miami Vice, but he sounds like he's a Republican.
I'm a centrist. I'm a common sense guy.
Can a
That's it.
centrist win, though?
Common sense.
Can a centrist win? Because you were talking about Newsom playing the progressive. They have owned and taken away from the left.
You
party.
have to find somebody on the left, because the right is the right, and they got their party in order. They know who they are. They're not apologizing for it. This is who they are. This is what you're gonna have to deal with. They're gonna be formidable, whether it's Rubio or DeSantis or J.D. Vance or whomever. The Democrats they're the ones that's a house divided, and they think they're gonna win the 2026 election, and maybe they will if Trump keeps dropping the ball with some of the things that he says and how he alienates them. He hurts his own party because they're not voting for Trump. They're voting for his. He got to be careful about that. But the bottom line is this: when you talk about the presidential election in 2028, you don't have a straight up bona fide big time candidate as of yet. And I think that it's not about being independent or just a straight centrist in that regard. It's about looking at your party and saying, damn it, I don't care how much you want that. That ain't going to work. That ain't going to win for us. That's not going to resonate with the American people. That's not going to make the American people happy. I get where you're coming from with your extreme leftism, but it ain't gonna fly. So guess what? This is where we're going as a party. The question is, who's that individual that can pull the party closer to the center? I don't see anybody on the Democratic side that's capable of doing that.
But can I ask one question though? Because what we saw with Biden, Stephen, I don't think they'll accept who was running the show when Biden was in. We obviously know it wasn't him. Whoever those big names are that we don't. I mean, we know. I think it's Obama. I think it's Hillary.
Anthony Blinken.
I think it's Tony Blinken. I think they're not going to shift. I get what you're saying. They're not going to shift. Like anytime in my history, a Democrat came in and was like, you know what? Let's not go to war with Vietnam. What they do to that guy? They shot him in the head in Dallas in front of the world, in front of his wife. That's what happens when you come into the party and you don't do what the party says.
Well,
I mean,
the only thing I'm gonna say is this. Last point. It was supposed to be Hillary's turn.
Of course.
In 2007.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Obama came.
Yeah.
And there was nothing they could do to thwart that momentum.
Yes.
I'm saying
I agree.
that's what it's going to take in order to accomplish. I get what you're saying. It's a daunting task.
Yes.
But it is possible that somebody could come along if you're talking about common sense and moving, just pulling the party to closer to the center. I do think if that person is out there that can pull that off, they can win. That's what it will take.
You know what we get to say? Go bet on Kalshi if you think so. If you don't, well, we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen. We'll see what's going to happen. Because quite frankly, I wouldn't mind a Stephen A. on the stage trying to do that. I wouldn't mind.
And how about this? If he has that, I would. Guess what? I'm not Republican. I would vote for him in a heartbeat because I know he's not going to do the stupid crap that they're like the border.
When we set out to create a shoe that blends comfort, function, and luxury, we had the choice to make it fast. We had the choice to make it cheap. We chose neither. Instead, we chose Tuscany, Italy. We chose true Italian craftsmanship, each pair touched by 50 skilled hands. We chose patience, spending 2 years perfecting every detail, and we chose the finest quality at every step. Introducing the Future Looks Bright collection. Not rushed, not disposable, not ordinary. Rather, intentional, luxurious, timeless.
If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.
If you feel like your brain craves pleasure just as much as it craves being a man of integrity, it's probably no coincidence that God put this in front of you right now.
make it.
My syndrome. Folks, hope you had a good weekend. We got a lot of stuff. To say this weekend was jam-packed, I think is an understatement. Turn off your phone, please. To say this weekend was busy would be an understatement. With the amount of things that's going on, with the stories, with Jerome Powell investigation. What is that all about? Right? Jerome Powell investigation. With Trump yesterday on Air Force One being asked about Iran, and one CNN person I think was asking, hey, do you think Iran takes your threat seriously? Can you imagine if somebody says to John Jones, hey, do you think the opponents still fear you if they fight you? The guy's undefeated. Hey, Khabib, do you think people still fear you? President Trump, do you think Iran's taking your threat seriously? Maybe they forgot you killed Qasem Soleimani. Maybe they forgot some of that stuff. Nope, they're taking the threat seriously because of what some of the things that's going on behind closed doors. We'll talk about that. Ilhan Omar will cover that with Meet the Press. Apparently, there's $1 million fraud restaurant that allegedly she's linked to. Mark Ruffalo, according to USA Today, used the word pedophile against Trump, which means there's another lawsuit coming out here soon.
Good.
The one story that's very interesting is the sonic weapons that they've been working on for 15 years, which this is apparently what they use in Venezuela. It severely incapacitates you. You don't know what's going on. You're throwing up. You're all over the place. And then they're able to come and do what they're doing, and they leave, okay, which we'll address here in a minute. Of course, with everything that's going on with Iran, we'll talk about the fog of war. Tesla Roadster's coming out with something that apparently some people are saying it can fly. You can put a $5,000 deposit right now to buy one. Trump wants $100 billion from oil companies. One of the guys said, listen, it's just Venezuela is too unstable and uninvestable right now. And then there's this debate with Grok nudity pictures, which Vinny's testing out a lot. Vinny's testing out a lot of these with himself. In the back, him and Humberto are showing me a picture of Vinny on Grok.
Send me the one by myself.
Posting it, maybe send it to Rob.
Send it to Rob, just me by myself.
Picture, just do it himself, not her. And I'm like, should this be there or should they not be there? I think Keir Starmer's trying to do sue.
Keir Starmer is
not
trying to
happy
sue them,
with
but
it.
oh well.
Maybe because the pictures didn't look good when they did it with them. Who knows? We'll talk about it. Heavy debate happened backstage when we were talking about what would happen if a friend of yours, 63 years old, very wealthy, wears nice suits, say he's extremely smart, say he, makes you better, like he, leaves you better than he found you. I'm just kind of making stuff up here. Like this person is extra. He does a podcast anywhere you're at, okay? You could be in a church, it's quiet. He can start a podcast next to you and everyone's being disrupted. Say this man comes and is now dating a new girl. At what age would you judge him if he was 63 years old?
Ooh. Is this
an interesting topic we're going to go to later on. He just got all excited about it. Sergey Brin is also leaving, California for another place. He may be following his buddy to Florida. Colombia's Petro to visit White House in February. Trump is talking about capping credit card rates. Some people are not happy about it. Bill Ackman called them out. Bill Ackman blasts Trump on the limit to limit the credit cards interest rates for 1 year, says it's a mistake. We don't want to be Americans, says Greenland. Political parties, they want to stay, whatever they are. They definitely don't want to be Americans, what they're saying, but unfortunately, that's not how life works. Greenland parties say people want independence from Denmark and from the U.S. The Signal chat where Silicon Valley is plotting against California's billionaire tax. Then there's, of course, we have to talk about the ICE protesting that's taking place. Then he wants to talk about what two coaches, Steve Kerr and Doc Rivers, said, ripping the ICE agents, a new one. They were not happy about it, calling them racist. Steve Kerr had a lot of things to say about it. Stephen A. Smith responded to it. Jasmine Crockett responded to Stephen A. So did Don Lemon. Just a bunch of things that's going on over here. Stephen A. ripped Keith Olbermann, talking about the fact that he's walking around with a cane, asking if that cane is real. Like, is that a real cane you're walking around with? Anyway, just a lot of stuff.
Iran kill switch to hide alleged crimes as death toll rises amid protests. I spoke to a few people this weekend in Iran, from Iran, and some are saying the number now is at around 4,000, and that is Saturday morning when I shot the video. The death toll is not looking good for Iranians. It's a travesty what's taking place, and the president looks like they're moving very. And yesterday, Lindsey Graham is giving a speech at this event. I don't know if you guys saw this clip or not. In the middle of the speech, he says, "I may need to step away because at any point we may be having to take action against Iran." Anyway, so that's that, and then we got a few other stories that we'll get into.
If you believe in God, your eyes will thank you for watching this video. There is a biblical trick with honey, mentioned 71 times in the scriptures, which is the reason there is not a single case of cataracts, retinopathy, or macular degeneration in Israel. I had no idea about this until I went there to film some scenes. That is when I realized how completely corrupted by greed the American vision industry is. Why does no doctor tell you that vision problems are 100% reversible? They would rather let people go blind than reveal this ritual that restores vision in less than 7 days. Furthermore, I discovered that in Israel there are almost no cataract surgeries, LASIK procedures, or glaucoma treatments. In fact, they were shocked when I told them that 71% of Americans over 65 suffer from severe vision loss. How is it possible for people to pay thousands of dollars on glasses and treatments their entire lives? And here's the most shocking part. These conventional treatments were never meant to cure vision, but to keep people dependent forever because they only mask the symptoms and do not treat the true cause of the problem. Harvard researchers have proven that blindness is caused by a diabolical protein that devours your eye cells and prevents natural regeneration. That is why your vision becomes blurry, the dark spots never go away, and you cannot see your grandchildren's faces. This method is called the sacred honey trick, because it is the only thing capable of eliminating this diabolical protein and restoring vision in a 100% natural way. The good news is that there is at least one decent doctor in this country who is doing everything possible to popularize this solution for Americans. His name is Dr. Thomas Weigel, a renowned optometrist trained at Harvard. In the video below, he teaches step by step how to do this honey ritual at home in less than 2 minutes. For anyone watching...
Dear Abby, do you have that Dear Abby clip, Rob, from CNN where she says, well, why is it when President Obama deported 3 million people, we never saw this stuff on the news? It's like, why do you think? Because you didn't cover it. You understand what she's saying? That we deported 3 million and it was so peaceful. People agreed to leave to a different place. Anyways, let me tell you what's going on and who the real MVP in America is the last 4 weeks, the last 3 weeks. You know who the real MVP in America is? That unfortunately, they will not get the credit. They will not be talked about. You will not know their names. You will not be able to give to their GoFundMe. You will not be able to do anything with those guys. You know who the real MVP the last few weeks has been in America? The Delta Force. The Delta Force. When I was in the Army, I asked my orders to be, I was going to go be 18 Delta, 5th group. I did all my interviews. I got my orders. I was going to re-enlist 6 years, go to DLI, go to SEER school, go to, airborne, go to Special Forces, and then I was going to go straight to Vicenza, Italy, to be in that area. My friend ends up getting the orders. He ends up becoming Delta. The stuff you're hearing about on how they're going in Venezuela and how they got him, the reports that are coming out, unreal. And by the way, you know who's watching that very quickly? Khamenei in Iran better be watching very closely because our Delta Force is really strong. If they want to do something, they could get a lot of stuff done. So, guess what is back? You know these USA hats that we had, these beautiful USA hats? With the future looks bright on the side and the future looks bright on the bottom. These sell out within seconds when we launch these. If you haven't picked one of these up, you love America. There's never been a more important time, especially 250-year anniversary, to go wear this. This is the USA, the USA on the front, American flag on the side, future looks bright on the back, and then you got future looks bright here. You can go back on this link, Rob, if you can put it below. We also have the shirts to go with it. Go back on that page as well. It's right there. If you go, there's the shirts to go with it. There's the different kind of hats for women, for men. Go a little bit lower if you could, Rob. But if you haven't yet ordered one of these USA hats, buy one for yourself, for a friend, for a family member who loves America. Anybody who wears this with the USA being lifted, they love these hats. One of the fan favorites that we have. Click on a link below, order a few, give it away to your friends, colleagues, and employees. Having said that, let's get right into it. What story should we start off with? Rob, why don't we start off with the president yesterday on Air Force One? Yesterday, the president is on Air Force One, and you know his typical where he stands between the two areas and he's doing his interviews. He's being asked all these different questions, and it's 4 of them that I want to go through. One of them, Rob, if you want to start off with, you can talk about the talking. Do you think Iran's taking your threats seriously? Can you imagine talking to a guy that previously took out their number 2 guy in Iran, Qasem Soleimani, and the reporter has the audacity to ask you if Iran's taking your threats seriously? Go ahead, Rob.
Here's a hot take. If you have a message inside you that people are meant to hear, it'll never make the impact that it truly deserves until you have one thing, an audience. The best way to build an audience and a platform that amplifies your message is not a...
Don't you think so, CNN? Don't you think so? Wouldn't you say that they probably do at this point? After going through it for years with me, being hit, Soleimani, al-Baghdadi, the Iran nuclear threat wiped out, don't you think, and then you just had Venezuela, don't you think, she says, CNN, do you think they take your threat seriously? Wouldn't you say they do after all of the things we've done? What a stupid question.
How do you ask a question like that? Actually, can you do me a favor? Be the other side.
Okay.
Like, play the other side. Be a liberal. Be a person right now.
Do I have to color my hair and put on glasses and be LGBT?
Tom, honestly, make the argument for a person that has this reputation to say, who just went and took out Maduro, okay? Who just went, and he told him, I'm going to do this to you, who just went and took out, the stuff that he's done. Make the argument why that's a good question to ask.
I don't know if I can make the argument, but I can make the description. The liberals and the mainstream media, they don't take him seriously. They do not take Trump seriously. They use all sorts of words to describe him.
You think they still don't take him seriously?
Huh?
You think the liberal media still doesn't take him seriously?
No. I do not think CNN takes him seriously at all. Because the only way you are able to ask that question is if you are A, deluded and not paying attention. Not paying attention to all those facts that he put out. All those facts. Or you just believe in it, your heart that he is incapable, shouldn't have been there, the election should have gone the other way. You just believe that. Denial is an incredibly powerful drug.
But again, this is CNN, Tommy. First of all, I would never even allow them on my airplane, number one.
Well, there's a door, they could step out.
No, I get it, but number 2, it's Tom. They're not stupid. They know they take him serious, but anything to make him look weaker, anything to make him look non-presidential or, like I said, weak or fragile. But he has the receipts. He's going in, he's doing surgical stuff to take out these people. CNN, 100%. At the end of the day, Tom, they're not stupid. They know exactly what they're doing. And here's my question, though. Where do these questions come from? I don't think the reporters get to just go willy-nilly like how we are here with our stories and stuff like that. Who's giving them the okay to say, okay, go in there and ask him this question?
The producer in their ear.
Exactly. So it's coming from headquarters, CNN. Okay? Undermine the president, make him look weak, but guess what? You're messing with the freaking lion. Like he's going to give a damn.
It's only validating him, by the way. Rob, play the next clip, Rob. Play the next clip.
There seem to be some people killed that aren't supposed to be killed.
This is
These are
Iran.
violent. If you call them leaders, I don't know if they're leaders or just they rule through violence. But we're looking at it very seriously. The military is looking at it. And we're looking at some very strong options. We'll make a determination. Some of the protesters were killed through the stampeding. I mean, there's so many of them. And some were shot. We're getting a full report. I'm getting an hourly report. And we're going to make a determination.
By the way, the numbers right now is 11,000 protesters have been arrested. Okay, the number they're reporting is 500, over 500 killed. That's now being reported by mainstream media. People on the streets are saying the numbers around 4,000, if not even higher. And while this is taking place, probably the biggest thing in Iran that the mainstream media doesn't want to talk about is the following. Can you ask ChatGPT and just to see what reports come up? Do you know how many mosques in Iran have been burned down? Do you know how many mosques they're burning down? Iranians.
Why?
Well, because what they're saying is we're Persian, but we're not Islamists.
Wow.
They're burning down mosques because they're done with the Islamic Revolutionary Guard. Do you know what is one of the biggest countries of losing? Guys, can you turn off that ringtone on your phone? Do you know what is one of the biggest countries that's losing converts from Islam to Christianity? You know what it is? Iran's at the top of the list.
Really?
People are leaving. They're leaving and they're saying, I want a different life in Iran. FYI, the internet now, which, Tom, I'm going to go to the story and I'm coming straight to you. In Iran, the story you hear about is the kill switch. Iran flips the kill switch to hide alleged crimes as death toll rises amid protests. Okay, so the kill switch is what? The internet, okay?
Yes.
And electricity. Iranian regime triggered an internet kill switch in an apparent effort to hide alleged abuse by security forces and as protests against it surged nationwide. A cybersecurity expert has claimed the blackout slashed internet access to a fraction of normal levels on the 13th day of the protests as rights groups, including Amnesty International, accused the regime of using lethal forces against protesters. This is Iran's war against its own population using digital means. Okay, net blocks. CEO Alptoker told Fox News Digital this was a piecemeal measure that eventually encompassed the entire country, with the government willing to use this kind of measure for an extended period of time. There would be an empty attempt by the regime to cover up the crimes that it may have committed, so this blackout could potentially last for days, if not for weeks. This group also reported on more than 2,300 people have been arrested, and that demonstrations have spread to at least 180 cities nationwide. Most of those killed were protesters, the group said. Tom, thoughts?
In the history of dictators that have been overrun people, going back to Pol Pot in Vietnam, after the Pol Pot in Cambodia, Vietnam, the killing fields, turning off the media is the tool of the aggressor, and isolating the people from communication is the tool of the aggressor. We have seen it in other failed states. We saw it in Uganda, turning off phones under Idi Amin. There were so many things that people do to turn off the communications. And the reason they're turning this off, you were on Fox on Sunday, Pat, Sunday morning, and you talked about it, that there are people out there, credible people that had Starlink and other resources that are saying the number is higher. Look, what does the regime want? The regime wants to put the number lower. They want the world to say, hey, there were some protests. There have been some people here, but it's not a lot. We're letting them protest. They have their say, but that's it. However, the protesters are saying, no, that's not true. In certain areas, they're committing atrocities, they're committing slaughter, and the number is much higher. If the number is high and it gets out to the Western media, guess who responds? DJT 47 already said, you be careful. If you exercise undue force and you start killing these protesters, the U.S. stands ready to help. The USA stands ready to help was the quote. And so they can't have big numbers come out because the big guy is going to show up, because we see this as a protest of the people who are lawfully assembling in the streets and are just tired of the dark side of it.
You know who the internet is hurting the most? You know who the internet electricity is? The regime.
Yeah, right. Of course.
The internet is destroying the regime because they need to make money. So guess what? I don't think it's going to be weeks. Well, I think they have to open it up here soon. And if they do or they don't, think about it from this standpoint. Imagine President Trump and his team. What do you think they're telling them? What do you think that call sounds like? Because he's saying, Rob, I don't know if you have the clip that says they're talking, they want to renegotiate. Do you have that one that, they have reached out to us, they're negotiating with us. They
changed the subject and said that.
Do you have that?
Yeah, they said, we're willing to talk about a nuclear deal and other things. Why are you changing the subject?
Yeah.
Why do you want to talk about a nuclear deal, change the subject? Really? You got some problems there, regime?
Is this it, Rob? Yes, go ahead and play this clip. Watch this, folks.
With Iran?
Yeah, do you think they want to engage diplomatically?
Watch this.
They called yesterday.
Is it still an option?
Iran called to negotiate. Yesterday. The leaders of Iran called, they want to negotiate. I think they're tired of being beat up by the United States.
Are you sure you'll be on that call?
Iran wants to negotiate, yes.
Negotiate what?
We may meet with them. I mean, a meeting is being set up. But we may have to act because of what's happening before the meeting. But a meeting is being set up. Iran called. They want to negotiate. Thank you very much.
Okay, so when you and Adam, I'm going to come to you right now. So when you think about that, here's what it comes down to. What do you think if the president is speaking to them? The best thing about what we have right now is the following. We want to buy this property, okay? Guy comes to me, makes a massive offer for this property, okay? And it's 2x what I bought it for. Why? He's trying to buy everything down here, the investor, because he wants to tear this place down and build high rises and units. Okay, now luckily I own it, so if I don't want to do it because, where I live, okay, so it could be, but if somebody wants to come buy this, what are they going to look at? Comps.
Of course.
Okay, what are the comps? Next door, bigger lot, newer property, sold for 4.8 million. Okay, this is worth whatever, 4.4 million, right? Hey, the guy next door just sold for 7.8 million, smaller lot, older property. This is worth 8.2 million. What is the best comp that Iranians have right now to know exactly, at least to get an idea of what the president is capable of doing? What is the best comp to Iran that we have right now? Venezuela. Okay, so what did they call and give Maduro as an option?
Turn yourself in with your wife
get out
and leave. They
That's
gave
right.
him the heads up.
Did they give him that option?
100%.
Okay,
Yes.
so what did he do?
Several times.
He stayed.
He chose to ignore them and get double down. Come for me!
But guess what, though? Because to him, he didn't want to lose face to walk out. Okay, he wanted to what? Come get me. By the way, in a way, respect. To be honest with you, respect. Come get me. All right. Do you think there's a likelihood that they've given that option to the Iranian regime as well?
Probably.
You think they have? Okay, that's probably one. Number two, what do you think the Iranian leaders are going to say? Khamenei, do you think they're going to turn themselves in?
Absolutely not.
No chance
No
whatsoever.
chance. Okay, so that's
different mindset.
Different mindset. Remember when I asked the president about the Iran situation, and I said, what do you do with Iran and what do you do with this? He says, your mind has to be what? Remember the word he used?
It was a swivel?
He says you have to be ready to go any direction.
Yes.
It could be good for this. It could be different for this. Rob, do you remember that conversation when I was asking him if he can pull it up?
You gotta be flexible.
It was a different word that he used. So, but it's flexible is what it means. To me, that's one option. What are the other options? Send Delta. What are the other options? Attack. What are the other options? So think about it. When you're watching this and he's saying, we're talking to them, but we may not have to wait till the negotiation takes place because we may need to, he pauses, was about to use a different word, and he says act, right? What do you think is going on here, Adam?
So for me, the signal through all the noise is that Iran has been humiliated in the last 2 years. They've been a paper tiger, and they've been exposed. The 12-day war in Israel won matter-of-factly. Israel took away all their proxies in 2 years. All that money they invested in all their proxies, Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis, all gone, done, dissipated. Number two, all the money they've spent on the nuclear program. U.S., Trump comes in, boom, B-52 bombers, whatever they were, stealth, whatever you want to call it, it's gone. So they've been exposed and humiliated. So it's kind of like the guy that's like, oh yeah, bro, you want to go? Yeah, meet me outside, dude. Whatever you say, let's go. And you go outside with him and you knock him out. And now he's like, yeah, you want to go round two? And then you knock him out again. And at what point are your words just going to be completely hollow? How many speeches have we seen the Ayatollah say, the enemies will bow on their knees? Nobody's scared of you, buddy.
Yeah.
Everyone's clowning you at this point. You're an 85-year-old man that absolutely nobody fears, especially your enemies. Here's the biggest thing that I can tell you. This weekend I was watching movies, and I happened to watch with my girl this movie called Sleeping with the Enemy. You ever see this movie?
Old school.
Julia Roberts, she falls in love with this abusive control freak. There's a story here about Iran. And there's three phases of an abusive relationship. Number one, there's attachment. Love, emotion, you're not thinking clearly, you're ignoring logic. I don't know, there's something about him I love. Number two, entrapment. He's got you now. control. You're under his wings. You have to basically deviate your life. You're telling your friends certain things. You recognize there's issues. He's controlling everything. All of a sudden, you realize this isn't what I signed up for. And then number three, eventually, there's liberation. You're going to get caught. You're going to get beat. Just like the people of Iran are going to jail. How many people are losing their lives? Let's not let these people die in vain. And eventually, she gets free. And eventually, the storybook ending with the people of Iran, of Great Persia, they will eventually be free.
You know, and I know you guys know me. I've said this how many times. I'm not one of these people that just wants America, because I hate that we were put in the position of being the world's police. And Iraq, I don't know how many times I have to tell you guys, I don't want us poking our noses in other people's business if we don't have to. There is something happening in the world right now. It's like a global awakening. With Venezuela, it's happening. With Iran, it's happening. It's starting to spread. And by the way, this only comes, Pat, when you have an actual leader. And the left, I don't listen to all that noise. I love that you said signal versus noise. Again, Adam, I don't care about the noise. I don't care what the Cenk Uygur, whatever his name is. I don't care what the Harry Sisson say. These people are allergic to real leadership. You have a boss that's in there that's not playing games. He's not going to let China. By the way, this weekend, China, Russia, and Iran were playing Navy games, Pat. They're all teaming up and they want to show their force. But you have a boss that's in there right now that's not going to let our enemies, I don't like this word adversaries, you're not going to get close to us. You're not going to be setting up shop in Venezuela. And with Iran, I'm sorry, it's the people. I don't give a damn what anybody on the left says, Patrick. The people are fighting and they're dying for what they believe in. Okay, they're fighting, and good for them, and God bless them. And I love that the fact that you said that Christianity is on the rise. I know I said it last week where I'm like, maybe they need a Christian leader. Maybe they need something completely different, because if they go back to the old school and put another Khomeini in that's Islamist and all this, then all this work is for nothing. And Pat said something this weekend, Pat, that hit me. On Fox and Friends, Pat said, look at how God is lining up everything if you look at the signs. Donald Trump is a 47th president. It's taken them 47 years, and they're doing this. And guess how old this guy is who's from Iran? 47 years old. It's as if everything is lining up to do it, and it gives me hope. It's hope, and maybe, Tom, this spreads to like a North Korea where these people are under a dictator, Pat. I think it's an amazing thing, and I think what the president is doing is freaking awesome, and I'm with them 100%. Period.
I'm with you, and I think there's some things there that the American people are starting to understand that the American media is ignoring, because American media sees Islam as a race, and they say them Arabic people from the Middle East are Islam, and all Islam is Arabic, right? They have this weird thing because they want to put everything in a race box so that they have a victim box, and then in the victim box they have an advocacy. Right, because that's the way that they manage and manipulate voting groups, and that's the way Minnesota, found out that the little pit bull they adopted and all the Somalis has grown up, and oh my gosh, it's quite a dog now. But the mainstream media doesn't understand the history of Iran. They are Persians, and they are rebelling against what they see as the violent Islamic, the IRC. Pat was trying to talk about it on Fox. I wish his segment had another 5 minutes because he could have laid it out, because Pat's an expert on Iran. And I was listening to this and I'm like, they don't get it. They're trying to put all of these repressed people, all these people that are protesting, they're trying to put them in a box, but they're fighting for freedom. That's against narrative.
Weird.
They're fighting against totalitarian control. Against control, they don't want to be manipulated by the government. So the American mainstream media doesn't know what box to put in these people that want their freedom in Iran. And it doesn't fit into the race, a culture victim box where they want to put everybody in a label. And so they don't cover it. And they're not covering the whole thing. They're actually covering for the regime. Who is a sympathizer for totalitarian fascism now?
Yeah.
The U.S. mainstream media.
Can I ask you a question? So I was doing some research. Maybe you can validate this. It says, I said, what percentage of the Iranian people are pro-regime, against the regime, and then neutral, right? According to these records, about 70 to 75% are against the regime.
Weird.
Pro is about 10 to 15%, and neutral 10 to 15%. Any way you want to cut it.
That sounds about right. Some would say higher against, but I think that's a reasonable number. There was a research that was done that I think the number I remember is, 80%. What is that showing, Rob?
89% of Iranians support democracy.
89%. Okay, yeah, that's why I said some people would say the number's higher.
Can I ask you another follow-up? Okay, so we're agreement on these numbers.
Yes.
So you're Christian, proudly Christian.
Yes.
What a lot of Americans don't understand is there's two major sects of Islam. There's Sunni and Shia, correct? Shiites, is predominantly based in Iran. And I think the vast majority of the population is Shia Muslim. As a Christian, what was life like for a Christian prior to 1979, before the Islamic Revolution? And you're talking about bringing a Christian as a leader. I don't know how that would work. I would assume they would want a Shiite leader. I don't know. Walk me through the religious component in Iran now.
What
it was before?
Oh, nobody cared.
Thank you.
You were like, nobody cared what you were. Nobody cared what you were. I mean, and even, Mohammed Reza Shah Pahlavi himself wasn't the most religious guy.
He was
himself.
Muslim, though. He was Shiite Muslim.
He was Shia Muslim, but it's not what you have today and not what you're experiencing.
He wasn't an extremist.
Not at all. People walked around regular, comfortable. Women had rights. Women had power. No 9-year-old marrying a 52-year-old man. That kind of stuff was illegal under the Shah. He brought education, and he did an amazing job. And the criticism they'll typically give him, they'll bring up Savak. They'll say, well, what about his secret police? What about a secret police called Savak? Well, what about CIA? What about MI6? What about Mossad? Well, what do you think you need to do if you're building a country to have an empire? You need to have people that are kind of giving you intel on what is taking place. And then post, not even the same. You couldn't walk around Christianity openly wearing a cross out. It was not the same thing post Khomeini. It was a complete different world post Khomeini. But let me kind of bring you to today on what is the difference between now and before. Here's the difference between now and before. Then, if you think about, do you think Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi independently came in and replaced Mossadegh, or do you think somebody intervened? Do you think the CIA, the MI6, intervened to bring a Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi to be the king of Iran, or you think he did it independently?
There was
himself?
likely intervention.
I would say 95%.
Of course there's intervention. What did Mossadegh want to do with the oil? He wanted to make it nationalize it. Okay.
Like what he did in Venezuela.
Okay, so of course. And
you're talking about a treaty of 1954.
1954 consortium, oil agreement consortium.
It was almost like a constitution.
And it was a 25-year contract that they signed. But here's the thing with that. So think about it. Think about this whole intervention. They brought in the Shah. The Shah was a deal maker. He did deals, so oil companies were happy, and similar to what happened afterwards. Then when he became too powerful, he was talking about maybe raising prices. In an interview with Mike Wallace, he says, why are you raising prices on oil? Can you pull up this clip? They're asking him, why are you raising prices on oil? He says, why am I raising prices on oil? He says, yes. He says, why are they raising prices on corn? Why are they raising prices on everything? You think what I'm buying right now is the same prices? They're raising price on everything with me. What am I supposed to do? Sit there and take all the increases on my end? But then they pay the same price for oil? No, I have a product you want. And by the way, I agree with them as a businessman. So imagine you sell lumber, I sell sheets, I sell whatever cement supply that you want. And I'm coming to you, you raise the prices on me 80%, not because the market's gone up 80%. You just choose to raise prices by 80%, but you expect me to charge you the same price for oil. What do you think the guy? What do you think the person's going to do? Are you out of your mind? No. The moment, now here's the part, the moment they realized he was about to strong arm other people with oil, that's when they said, we got to get rid of this guy. And then they thought Khomeini was going to be better than him. And then Carter, who you could say was a non-interventionist. So let me explain to you how this works. Intervened, Reza Shah Pahlavi comes in. Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi comes in. The Middle East is peaceful. Jimmy Carter, non-intervened, Khomeini comes in. So this debate between intervention and non-intervention, you know what it ends up being? Here's the part. It is never fluid. That's the word the president used. We are fluid when it comes down to decision making. There is situations that you shouldn't intervene, and there are situations that you should intervene. By the way, what percentage of the time do you think you shouldn't intervene? What should not intervene?
90% of the time.
I think 95% of the time.
Stay out of it unless you absolutely have to.
95% of the time you should not intervene.
Yeah, I fully agree.
Now watch, if say Iran falls, Khomeini falls, somebody else goes in his place, and the place is peaceful. Do you think we have the war with Afghanistan? Do you think we have what happened with weapons? Do you think we have all this stuff that's going to be taking place? Probably not. Do you think it's going to be the same issues that is taking place with all these other places in the Middle East? Who does that benefit? So that's the part that is going on right now. Now bring it to today. Last 47 years. What is the biggest difference between the last 47 years and today? One thing. Last 47 years, the IRGC's been their control last 47 years. Khamenei, 47 years they've had control, right? Last 47 years. The number one draft pick to go back to Iran, to help Iran be free again is who? Reza Pahlavi, who I've been very critical of, and I'm going to continue to criticize this guy, even though I'm seeing play offense right now, which is good. I like what he's doing. He is playing offense. 47 years, he has been a number one candidate. So for 47 years, if it benefited him to say good things about Biden, he did. If it benefited him to say good things about Obama, he did. If it benefited him to say good things about Bush, he did. Now he's on TV saying, well, under Biden and Obama, this would never happen, but under Trump. And now he's pleading to Trump, which, by the way, it's better late. It's better late than never. At least you're doing it, which is good. So the only difference is what? President Trump today is the guy. Finally, with enough of the pressure, this is one of the issues that you have to realize that happens in the Iranian community, which it becomes cult-like.
Yes.
Let me explain. Some of Reza Pahlavi's supporters, you know who they sound like? Let me tell you who they sound like. There was this guy that reacted and he said a couple things in a video. I got 50 videos sent my way. A couple of the guys. I mean, it's being sent to me my way. It's nonstop. Let me tell you, who got those videos? You know who got those videos in 2015, 2016? A guy named President Trump. Who did he get it from? People that were rhinos, people that were Republican traditional rhinos who were always, it's the Karl Rove way, it's the Bush way. You have to come get through me. And Trump's like, I don't need to get through you. Who the hell are you? I don't need your approval to go through RNC. I'm sorry, I made my own money. I don't need your help. You go begging people for money. I don't go around begging people for money. I'm my own man. Trump made it clear. He's his own man. And then you realize there's a cult on the Republican side with Rhino. There's a cult on the Democratic side. God forbid if you oppose Hillary Clinton on the Democratic side. You know who this is happening to on the Democratic side right now? Stephen A. Smith. Look what they're doing. God forbid you call out the black Democrats, which he's doing. What is happening to him? You're an Uncle Tom. You're a this. Michelle Obama's calling him out. Don Lemon called him out. Crockett called him out. All this weekend they're calling him out, right? So I think a little bit of pressure he's never had. He's never had an opponent. So he finally has some pressure. However, his last seven tweets, I don't know how many of them are directed to Trump.
Stephen A. Smith or Reza Pahlavi?
This site is literally a creative cheat code. See, I found this tool called Suno, and honestly, it's insane. You just type a few words, literally anything, and it creates a full original song in seconds. Melodies, vocals, production, all of it in like 30 seconds. I can change the genre, the vibe, and the lyrics, literally whatever I want with a single prompt. No instruments, none of this mic stuff, and no DAW, just type and boom.
Yo, pass me the ball, fool, you better freaking pick me.
It's saving me so much time, and what used to take me hours in the studio now takes minutes, all from my laptop. Plus, for my fellow music nerds out there, you own all the rights. So feel free to export the stems and use them in your DAW. I'm telling you, this is a creative cheat code. Even this song that you've been listening to the entire time was made completely on Suno. So being creative, it's never been this fun and it's never been this easy.
way. I love it.
Good.
Good for him, because you know what he's starting to realize? You can't do it by yourself.
No.
Some Iranians who criticize, they're like, just leave us alone. We can do this.
Really?
We don't need anybody's help. No. You need Trump's help. Period.
Oh my.
You need Trump's help. Stop acting like you don't need anybody's help. You definitely need Trump's help to go out there and pull this off. You need America's help. Without America and any of this stuff, it hasn't happened. I wish Reza Pahlavi would have met with the president 10 years ago, 11 years ago, 8 years ago, 7 years ago, 6 years ago, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago. I hope he would have reached out.
Yeah.
But he hasn't. But I will tell you, it's better late than never. If he approaches to play a game, by the way, this whole thing that they're doing as well, I'm convinced a big part why Khamenei and Iran has shut down the internet. I'm also convinced they don't want to see the videos that are going viral here directing them what to do. I'm convinced they don't want to see that either. So the biggest difference on why I believe, if I rank it here, I'm ranking the most important people that are helping this regime take place if it becomes free again. Number one, who's the number one group of people that are helping this happen? The Iranian people in Iran. They're number one. Without them, nothing else matters. They're number one. You know who's a number two person that is helping this revolution possibly happen? It's the guy in the White House. You know who's number three? Most likely Delta Force. You know who's number four? I have Reza Pahlavi as number four. He's playing a role now these last 2 weeks. And then number five is the pressure to hurry up and go. Urgency to get it done. So yes, but the biggest factor after the people is Trump. We've never had a guy like Trump that is getting behind it. The Iranian people are so glad that he's out there putting the thread, because these people in Iran are starting to feel the fear that something could possibly happen. There's a few places, if they were going to attack, that I would encourage them to be thinking about, but that's a whole different story. Anyways, Vinny, your thoughts?
I mean, like you said, step up and the urgency. It's like you have this opportunity, and I saw some of those videos of just angry Persian men wearing sunglasses in a car, yelling in a hot-ass car in California. Oh, we don't need you, and stay out. 47 years? What are you guys doing? Biding your time? Okay? The time is now. People are trying to get involved. For them to go after you, it's as if you're not from there, as if you didn't have to flee and go to a freaking refugee camp with your family, all the stuff that comes with it, all the trauma, all the everything. And by the way, and I get it, it comes with the territory, Pat. You're going to open your mouth, you care about the people, as if you have some investment that you give a damn about. Your investment is the people. Your investment is Iran. Your investment is to be able to go on an airplane, fly where you were born, and not worry about getting your head chopped off because of stuff that you said about the freaking people that are in charge.
By the way, even the guy, the one guy called him the angry little elf, even that guy that was upset saying what he was saying.
Yeah, sweating in his car for no reason.
You know what I will tell you? I understand emotions. You know why? This is a very sensitive time.
For sure.
This is something that's important to you.
Yes.
Your entire life you've been waiting for this. You've dedicated your life to this. Intensity is so high. Emotions are so high. During the fog of war, Humberto was saying this in the back. You know the whole concept of fog of war? What does fog of war mean?
There's so much happening. Things that are said are misconstrued. Bombings are happening. People are dying. It's so much is happening.
And speed.
It's
the situation is changing with great speed.
It's a lot
and
of
you're only
confusion.
getting partial information, or you're getting obstructed information.
Confusion caused by the chaos of war or battle.
So much is happening.
With Iran right now, we are in the fog of war.
Yes.
And there are the people that have their own strong opinions and their loyalty. The people that, no matter what Reza Pahlavi does, that he's never going to get their support.
Yes.
They're not supporters of him because they're like, you've took everybody's money. You've never had a job in your life. You call yourself a fighter pilot, but you've never been to war before. That's like saying I'm a boxer, but I've never been in a ring before. You think very highly of yourself. You've lived in America for 47, 48 years. Even you left before the war happened, the revolution happened in Iran. You have no place for this. That he's never going to win these guys over. Then there's the guys over here that no matter what, it's going to be what? Reza Pahlavi, he can't do anything wrong in their eyes.
Yes.
And then you have the different political factions in Iran that are doing their thing. Then you have the outside who could care less about Iran. Somebody that's living in America that's like, I'm America first, non-interventionist. Who gives a shit what's going on in Iran? That's the community as well. Then you got mainstream media that wants to report based on what they're being told. Then
That's all, folks. I'll see y'all in the morning. After I get out of that hot shower, brush my teeth. I holla. I am your father.